On day 1, I spawned into the prairie as an awesome Venom Dragon! Whoa! That must be what happens when an alien symbiote fuses with a dragon! I wonder what awesome powers this will give me! But I didn't have much time to think about what awesome powers being a symbiote-infused dragon would get me, because I suddenly saw a small group of heavily armored royal guards running towards me! Uh-oh, those guys look a little sinister! I should get out of here! I turned and ran as far from the royal guards as I could, but I was only a baby Venom Dragon with 10 hearts, so I didn't have that much energy. Still, I was able to outrun the royal guards and stop to rest. Jeez, I just got here, and already I've got gangs of armored goons running after me. What's going on here?
Your capture is going on here, knave.
I turned and saw one of the royal guards standing right behind me. I haven't done anything wrong.
Trespassing and suspicious behavior. Our master, the Chief Evoker, demands that we take in any possible accomplices of the Accursed One.
Accursed One? I've never even heard of him.
Oh, forgive me for not believing that. Come with me right now, little Venom Dragon, or I'll be forced to call in reinforcements, and they're a lot less kind than me.
At my current tiny strength, I had no choice but to go with him. On day 2, the royal guard who'd captured me took me back to a base somewhere in the prairie. There was a small structure that seemed like a headquarters and a large walled courtyard protected by a secured door. What is this place? Is this where that Chief Evoker guy lives?
The Chief Evoker is in a different biome, trying to build alliances with other factions so we can ally against the Accursed One. We will keep you in our storage center until he returns.
I promise, I've never heard of the Accursed One. Can't you just take my word for it?
The Chief Evoker has a good sense for the content of people's souls. When he returns, he will judge your worthiness.
He didn't tell me anything after that. He just locked me inside the courtyard, where I was trapped with a fungus thrower.
Hey, bub. Name's Bogey. What are you in for?
I'm Zozo, and honestly, I'm not even really sure why I'm here. I guess because I thought I had something to do with this guy they call the Accursed One. How about you?
I'm in here because I don't like authority. The Accursed One, the Chief Evoker, doesn't matter. I don't think anyone should tell anyone what to do for no good reason.
Can't say that I'm keen on them right now either. Before we do anything else, I need to get us out of this place.
I'm open to ideas, fella. I've been in here for 3 weeks. I think I'm starting to go insane.
Bogey's insanity aside, there was still hope here. I waited until nightfall, and then I put my plan into action. I have wings. Maybe, just maybe. I focused really hard until my wings started to carry me upwards. I flew up and out of the courtyard and then landed next to the door outside. I opened it and freed Bogey.
You're a real one, Zozo. I hope we meet again someday.
We both ran off in different directions, relieved that the royal guards hadn't noticed our daring escape. On day 3, I took flight and sailed through the sky above the prairie. Everything below me looked so tiny. It was breathtaking. I felt like I could do it forever. But I couldn't, as I suddenly realized that my hunger bar was looking uncomfortably low. I needed to get back on the ground and quickly get some food. I landed and started searching for fruit or some animals. That's when I happened upon an apple tree and gathered apples. I tasted them and they poisoned me. I guess a dragon only eats meat. Apples, me no likey. I decided to stay on the ground and rest my wings for a bit when I heard huge, thundering footsteps somewhere in the distance. It was way too loud to be one of the royal guards from earlier. Who could that be? I should check it out. I quickly ran over until I saw a massive figure strolling across the prairie. A giant, tough, redstone golem. Whoa, he's so big. I bet nobody messes with him.
You're right about that, kid.
Oh, you could hear me?
I can hear a lot. Just because I'm big and tough, people assume I can't be smart and perceptive too. But I'm the whole package. My name's Red. How about you?
I'm Zozo, and a lot of people have been giving me trouble lately. Can you teach me how to be big and tough like you?
Sure thing, Zozo. So long as you pay me back. Follow me. I'm sure I can teach you a thing or two.
From day 4 to day 5, the redstone golem led me to his home biome, the Red Desert.
Fun fact, it's named after me, Red. I'm just that cool, you know?
Whoa, you're awesome, Red! I'm so happy you're my friend. He led me back to his base and gave me a stone sword and a stone pickaxe.
Take these and go make your own place. Red's a lone wolf. Well, a lone golem. You get the idea. First step of learning to stand up for yourself. is learning to fend for yourself. Make yourself a base, and then we'll talk about making you big and tough, like me.
Sure thing, Red. I took the stone sword and stone pickaxe and flew across the red desert, where I started gathering materials to build myself a cool base of my own. It was quite a sight to look at. A beautiful clock tower home I made. It felt good to have something I could call my own. I'm the Venom Dragon, and with help from Red, I'm gonna become the coolest creature in the overworld. I may have yelled that I was the Venom Dragon a little too loudly though, as a small group of royal guards appeared and came running towards me. Oh no, it's time to fight! I pulled out my stone sword and ran in to battle the royal guards. It wasn't easy, but my pure willpower saw me through. I defeated the royal guard detachment and gained enough XP in the process to level up. I got bigger, stronger, went up to 30 hearts, and gained a new power, Venom Breath. Oh man, Red is gonna think this is so cool. I can't wait to show him. From day 6 to day 8, I continued to test out my powers, blowing flames onto trees and cactuses to test their strength. Feels good to finally have some power. Some firepower! Is that even a joke? Oh gosh, who knows? But during my fire practice, I happened to run into an old friend, Bogey the Fungus Thrower. Hey Bogey, how's it hanging?
Been better, been worse. Say, have you had any luck finding that Accursed One? I've been on the lookout. I need to find a new authority to rebel against while the Evoker is still out of town.
Does the Accursed One count as an authority? I'm still not really sure what his whole deal is.
I've been asking around a lot lately. Turns out, he's been causing trouble around here for years. He's rolled through towns, and they've disappeared that same night. He rarely ever leaves survivors, so it's hard to know who he is and what he looks like.
Well, that's worrying. I think I know exactly who to ask about this. I flew over to my good buddy Red and told him everything that Bogey had told me. He immediately knew what I was talking about and had a great idea.
Yeah, I've heard about this Accursed One. He's a tough customer. Pretty cool, apparently, but obviously evil, too. I've heard that his true power comes from a bunch of dangerous magic users. One of them is the Windcaller. He lives in the Red Oak Forest not far from here. You want my advice? Go take him out. The Accursed One won't like that.
From day 9 to day 10, I flew straight to the Red Oak Forest, searching for the Windcaller, the first magic user who helped prop up the power of the Accursed One. If I can defeat him, it'll bring me one step closer to defeating the Accursed One himself. When I spotted the Windcaller, I immediately flew down towards him and landed a few feet away. He did not seem happy to see me, to say the least.
Get away from me, please! I don't want to fight. I don't want any trouble.
That excuse won't work on me, Windcaller. I know the truth about the Accursed One. You're going down!
The Accursed One? You think you know the truth? You arrogant little dragon! I'll show you how little you really know!
He fired an energy blast at me, and the fight was on! The Windcaller was a formidable opponent because of his magic use, but in the end, I was able to take him down thanks to a combination of Venom Breath and Sword Strikes. Sadly, I lost a lot of hearts in the process. Less sadly, Bogey appeared soon after and let me drink one of his healing potions to regenerate my lost health. Bogey, I can't thank you enough. Why are you here? Were you just following me around?
Nah, man. I just been told the Windcaller was the right man to speak to about finding the Accursed One. But I guess you beat me to him.
He attacked me first, and besides, Red told me to.
You shouldn't let other people tell you what to do and think, Zozo. At least not without questioning why first.
Come on, Bogey, it's fine. Red has my best interests at heart, I think. From day 11 to day 12, I returned back to Red at his awesome base to tell him that I'd defeated the Windcaller in the Red Oak Forest.
Good work, Zozo, good work. Bet you're feeling tougher already, right? Just like I told you, if you listen to your boy Red, everything will turn out all right.
It just felt a little weird though. It didn't seem like he wanted to fight. Isn't that a little strange? Especially if he used to work for that Accursed One guy?
Don't be a dum-dum, Zozo. He just told you that to try to trick you. You can't trust everything that people say. People lie to get what they want literally all the time. Except me, of course. I'm old school.
Fair enough, Red. What do you want me to do next?
There are more magic users out there who want to help that big, probably handsome Accursed One jerk. In the end, you can destroy that evoker. But first, you need to go back to the Red Oak Forest and take out the Geomancer. Upgrade your gear first, though. He's a tricky customer.
On Red's advice, I explored until I found a deep, dark cave, and followed it until I discovered a rich vein of iron ore. This is exactly what I needed. I mined enough iron ore to make the equipment I needed, then created an underground furnace to smelt it all. Soon enough, I had an iron pickaxe, iron sword, and iron helmet. Just in case of a flying accident, my head is protected. Remember to always wear a helmet when riding. But on the way out of the cave, I found another royal guard blocking my path.
I found you! The evoker has returned to the base, and he requests an audience with you!
Oh, I'll see the evoker soon enough, but I won't be going with you! With a powerful burst of venom breath, the royal guard was gone. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to the Red Oak Forest, flying through the trees and keeping my eyes peeled for the geomancer that Red wanted me to find. It took until nightfall to find him, where I discovered him by the light of his campfire. He was just standing next to it, trying to stay warm. Rather than attacking him straight away, I hesitated, remembering that the wind caller didn't want to fight me, or at least said that he didn't. Maybe I should at least try to talk to him first. That's the least I could do. So I descended onto the ground and approached the geomancer. When he saw me, he didn't seem to be bothered.
Hello, stranger. It's getting cold. Why don't you come over and warm yourself?
I approached the fire and felt its warmth. The geomancer didn't seem aggressive at all. I had no idea why Red wanted me to destroy him. Mind if I ask you a personal question?
I don't see any harm in it.
Do you have anything to do with the thing they called the Accursed One? There was a long pause before the geomancer replied.
The Accursed One is one of my greatest mistakes. It was me, the wind caller, and the evoker that created him. He was meant to be a weapon for good, but he developed a mind of his own. We have no control over him anymore. He's the monster we created.
Something about this whole conversation unsettled me. I didn't know what to believe anymore. I needed to talk to Red as soon as possible. I left the geomancer to his own devices and flew away. From day 16 to day 19, I flew back to the Red Desert and returned to Red's base. But to my surprise, he wasn't there. Instead, I found a note left by Red, simply reading, "I'm going to do what you should have done. Don't contact me again. We're done, Zozo." It was a devastating note to see. But before I could even properly process this, a familiar person came walking up behind me. It was Bogey. Bogey, what are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I'd come here to pick a fight with that Accursed One guy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I asked around. Some big stone guy around here is that Accursed One you told me about. I figured I'd come down here and beat him up.
Big stone guy? That sounds like... Oh no, I need to get back to the Red Oak Forest. I took flight again and flew back to the camp at the Red Oak Forest as quickly as I could. But when I reached the camp, the fire was out, the geomancer was gone, and only Red remained. Red, are you?
The Accursed One? Duh! I'm amazed it took you this long to figure it out. I wasn't even that subtle about it.
The geomancer told me the truth.
Yeah. That's why I needed to destroy him and the wind caller. And after this, I'm gonna destroy the evoker too. They made me, and once they're gone, no one will be able to unmake me.
That's where you're wrong. I'm going to unmake you right now. I ran in, ready to strike Red with all my might for the terrible things he'd done. And he punched me so hard, I was immediately knocked unconscious. From day 20 to day 22, I woke up, my head still aching from that powerful strike that Red gave me. Ugh, even with that helmet, getting punched in the face by a literal stone fist, that's no fun. The dead campfire next to me only reminded me of the geomancer's horrible fate and the part I played in it. I didn't get to wallow in self-pity for long because Bogey the fungus thrower was emerging from the trees.
Get up, bub. We don't have any time to waste.
What do you mean?
Well, we've got to defeat that big rock guy, right? The Accursed One or whatever. You're not just gonna let him walk all over everyone, are you?
You still want to help me, even though I used to work with that monster?
Let's not focus on the past. We're not going there. Instead, let's go back to your place and work on a plan to take on and destroy that doofus before he can hurt anyone else.
You know what? I think you have a point. I went back to my base with Bogey and mined enough wood to build him an entire house for himself. He deserves it with all the help he gave me so far, and this way we can be neighbors and work with each other. I showed Bogey the house, and he loved it. I'm gonna make Red realize he messed with the wrong Venom Dragon! From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the prairie where I spawned in to do some exploring. I heard the telltale sound of a creeper nearby and flew into the air to get a better look at the terrain. From up above, I saw where the creeper was. It was heading for a witch who was completely oblivious to the hostile mob. Witch, watch out! There's a creeper behind you! I flew down and landed in front of the creeper, burning it with my venom breath. To my surprise, it didn't explode and struck back with a close-range attack. I fought ferociously until the creeper was vanquished. You've creeped for the last time. After that, the witch came back and cast a power-up spell on me.
Here, Venom Dragon. This should enhance your strength and increase your health.
And that it did. I gained 50 hearts and some mighty shooting claw attacks. But I won't use them without just claws. Like just cause? Get it? From day 27 to day 31, I found some sheep in the prairie and decided to pay them a greeting. Hello there, sheep. The sheep's wool looked very overgrown. Perhaps they had been wandering for a while without a trim. I invited them back to my base so that I could help them shed their extra wool. It was the biggest sheep barn I have ever built. Never have the sheep had so much space under the roof. I want to keep their wool nice and dry. When I had placed the last piece of the barn, Bogey the fungus thrower showed up. He had some news of his own about the state of the base.
Great work herding those sheep, Zozo. While you were doing that, I built us a storage building. You're welcome.
Super! I've always wanted a place to store things. Now all I need is some things to store.
Let's gather some resources then. We'll have to be well stocked if we want to take on Red.
You got that right, Bogey. Elsewhere in the Red Desert, our nemesis, Red the Accursed One, was gathering resources of his own.
Go forth, my Dark Knight Rider. The Evoker must be eliminated, along with that pesky Venom Dragon and anyone else who tries to step on my coolness.
You can count on me, Red. I want to rest until all the uncool fools are cut down by my axe.
From day 32 to day 35, I made my way back to the headquarters of the Chief Evoker in order to warn him about Red. The guards at the gate were quick to attack me, thinking that I was a potential threat to their boss. I defended myself with some normal attacks, but avoided using my shooting claw attacks so I could hold back and not hurt them too badly.
You've gotten stronger, Trespasser, but why are you not fighting us with all you've got?
Because you don't want to get hurt, and I don't want to hurt you. I bring news about the Accursed One, and I'm glad I made it here before the Red Golem did.
He knows the true identity of the Accursed One. We should let him through to speak with the Chief Evoker.
It seemed like my words had gotten through to the royal guards, so I followed them inside when they told me to enter the humble base to a room full of bookshelves. The Chief Evoker was standing right in front of me. He turned around and looked at my Venom Dragon form with much curiosity.
Your soul is conflicted. It holds the power of both great good and great evil within it. I'm not sure how to judge you just yet.
Forget about judging me. The Accursed One is coming to destroy you, so that nobody will know the secret of his creation.
I should have known it would come to this. Creating that golem was a mistake that cannot be fixed. The best I can do is hide out here and hope that the Accursed One doesn't find me.
You won't be able to hide forever. Not from that monster. He's too powerful.
The Accursed One may be strong, but he isn't unbeatable. If we can gather all three of those who made him.
We don't have that option anymore. You're the only one left.
Well, in that case, I'm going to stay put. You try to figure it out yourself.
Bogey was right. Trusting authority doesn't always work out. From day 36 to day 39, I went mining for the materials I would need to complete my iron armor. If the Chief Evoker is gonna hide from Destiny, I will face it with a full suit of armor. I didn't just unearth iron either. Once I found enough of the metal to build my armor pieces, I was able to find diamonds in the ground as well. Oh yeah, diamonds! These will come in handy later. I crafted the rest of the iron armor and equipped it. Now don't I look snazzy in this armor? Leave a like if you think so, and don't forget to subscribe. I went back above ground to my base in the Red Desert, where I met up with Bogey and told him what happened at the Evoker's base.
It looks like we're gonna have to take this matter into our own hands. We'll stop that accursed monster without the help of the Evoker.
Yes, that might be the only way to get it done. It's you and me, Bogey.
Here, Zozo, you can have my favorite machete. It'll help you the next time you're in a tough fight.
I equipped the machete and gave it a couple swings. It didn't deal any more damage than my sword, but it sure looked a lot cooler. Later on, I was patrolling the outside of the base when a camel came walking towards me across the sands.
You, Venom Dragon, come with me. Someone you know wants to speak with you.
Bogey says I don't have to follow orders, but maybe this time I should do what this camel says. From day 40 to day 43, I went to the location that the camel specified and found out that it was none other than the Chief Evoker waiting to meet with me. I thought you were hiding, Chief Evoker.
You thought right. I am hiding. Someone is coming after me. I need you to protect me.
Really? Your guards throw me in prison? You let your fellow mages die, and you won't do anything about the Accursed One, but now I need to help you?
Only if you want to. Your soul has the potential to protect or destroy.
Okay. Where is this enemy that is following you anyway?
It's coming. Prepare yourself.
I looked across the prairie and saw someone on a horse.
There you are, Chief Evoker. I'm going to chop you up for being so uncool.
Who are you, buddy?
I'm the Dark Knight Rider, and it looks like I've got another target right here in front of me.
Not now you don't, because we're running away! And we did. From day 44 to day 49, I had run all the way back to my base, only to find that the Chief Evoker had arrived there before me. So it's not just hiding, but running you're also good at.
I am not your enemy, Zozo. You don't need to get sassy with me.
If you say so, but don't expect I'm going to let you hide here at the base.
I'll return to my own base soon enough, but for now, I'm going to give you this.
The Chief Evoker handed me a mace, even though I already had a powerful weapon. He also showed me a book of secrets full of magic spells. What are these for?
My companions who helped forge the Accursed One, the Geomancer and Windcaller, might be gone now, but the magic we used to create the Golem existed before us, and remains without them. I have written my part of it in my book of secrets, and if you can find the other two, we can enchant the mace with a breaking spell to unmake the Accursed One.
Now that's more like it. I'll take on this quest and gain the power to defeat Red. Where should I start?
Return to the Red Oak Forest. There you may seek the Windcaller's magical secrets.
And with that, I was on my way. From day 50 to day 53, I sought the magical secrets of the Windcaller deep in the Red Oak Forest. Here, secret, secret. Here, secret. Finding secrets was a way more difficult task than I had thought. But then again, I guess that's what made them secrets. In its current condition, the mace was not a powerful weapon, so I couldn't even use it to fight regular mobs. I was about to head back home when I ran into a mummy.
Did somebody say secret? As in the magical secrets of the Windcaller?
Yes, I did. But don't tell anyone. It has to be a secret.
I remember back when the Windcaller and those other two were first building their golem with the intention to protect us all. The Windcaller said that the golem would have the power to listen to the wind and know when others are in trouble.
That probably has something to do with finding the secret, but I can't figure it out right now. I walked away and traveled off through the woods. I'd be back to scout this area again on another day. From day 54 to day 57, I was taking a scenic walk through the prairie on the way back to my base when I encountered that Dark Knight Rider who was working for Red.
Time for me to ask you a question, Venom Dragon. And the answer is your demise!
Why are you even working for Red, Dark Knight Rider? Don't you know that he's a loner?
Simple, because I've got a score to settle with the Chief Evoker. But you won't need to hear about that. I'll just chop you to pieces!
The Dark Knight Rider ran towards me, and I used my Venom Breath on him. It barely did any damage, and he just kept charging forward. I'd better get out of here. I flew away, escaping through the sky where the Dark Knight Rider couldn't reach me. While his handyman was tracking me, Red was brooding all alone in his base.
I can hear him now, those voices on the wind. Yes, that's a sure sign that my enemies are in trouble. It's cool to know that people I don't like are failing.
From day 58 to day 62, I came in for a graceful landing in the middle of my base, where Bogey was quick to welcome me back home.
Our base has become much more self-sufficient thanks to my efforts. Come check this out.
I looked around inside to see Bogey had installed a furnace for regulating temperature throughout the base. This is excellent, Bogey. Who doesn't need a furnace in the desert for when it gets cold?
I also started work on building a defensive bunker in case things really get dangerous out there. Can you gather some materials to help complete it?
Of course! The mines were full of the materials I would need to reinforce the bunker, so I went down below to gather them. I went further than the usual mines and arrived at the deep mining cave. There was iron and stone, and of course, diamonds! Never can have too many of these. I should upgrade my gear with these shiny diamonds while I'm here. I mined the diamonds and crafted myself a diamond sword, diamond pickaxe, and diamond helmet. While I didn't have enough diamonds for a full suit of armor, I was armed with a strong weapon now in the form of my diamond sword. I returned to Bogey the fungus thrower and gave him all the materials I gathered so he could finish the defensive bunker within the base. From day 63 to day 66, I found the Evoker had come to visit my base again with further knowledge on how I could complete the mace and the unmaking spell.
I have found the secret location of the magical secrets that the Geomancer had once brought to the table in the creation of the Accursed One.
That's great news! I wasn't able to find the Windcaller's magic secrets, but at least we can use the Geomancer's secrets.
They are in a new biome that you've never seen before. Allow me to guide you to that place.
The Chief Evoker led me down to the lush caves, a forest beneath the surface of the overworld, which had unique plants seen nowhere else in the world. This looks like the work of geomancy, no doubt about it. We soon came upon a huge door that was sealed with geomancy magic.
The magical secrets are behind here.
That's good to know, but it looks like the door itself can't be opened.
It's true. The Geomancer was so ashamed of playing a role in the making of the Accursed One that he sealed his secrets behind this door.
I guess we'll need to backtrack here once we've learned the way to get through this door. From day 67 to day 70, the Chief Evoker once again asked me for help with another matter.
It is urgent. There is a bad soul running loose around the prairie. You have to stop it.
I guess I've got to do what you say. I arrived at the prairie and saw exactly what the Chief Evoker was talking about. An evil wraith was going absolutely crazy and tearing the place apart. I drew my machete and moved towards the wraith, cautiously. It fired a lightning bolt to me, which I dodged. I returned the favor with my venom breath.
You've achieved true power. I don't need anyone anymore. I am strong all by myself.
Just because you're cool by yourself doesn't mean you should go destroying things.
I bet somebody else made you believe that so you wouldn't destroy him. Life is better when you're on your own.
And you're only saying that because you aren't listening to others. If you listen to me, I promise you'll be stronger with someone to help you. The Wraith thought about it for a moment.
You have convinced me to accept help from others. If it really does power me up.
I solved the problem without fighting. I guess not every bad soul is beyond convincing. From day 71 to day 74, the Dark Knight Rider showed up and started breaking down my base with his deadly horse.
Not so cool after I pillaged your base. Then again, you were never cool.
You're the one who's about to find out what cool is after I slice you. I drew my machete and we battled each other, weapon to weapon. The fight was even for a while, but then the Dark Knight Rider disarmed me of my machete and stole it for himself.
It'd be hard to slice me without this. See you later, you uncool fool.
Wait, this isn't over! The Dark Knight Rider didn't wait, and just like that, he was gone. I may have survived with my life, but I lost Bogey's favorite machete, and that made me extremely sad. I ran into my room and cried about it for a long time, wishing I had only hung on to the machete a little bit tighter. After a few hours of crying, Bogey showed up in my room. I was almost too sad to talk to him. I'm sorry, Bogey. I can't believe I lost your favorite machete.
Zozo, it's only a machete. At least you're still okay. You're my best friend.
You're right. Thanks, Bogey.
Clown play. I've already fixed the base up from the Dark Knight Rider attack.
I spent some time with Bogey, not knowing that Red was once again plotting something all by his lonesome.
Try to unmake me, will they? I'll unmake them when I get my hands on the fully completed Mace of Magic.
From day 75 to day 78, the Chief Evoker was back at my base once again. You show up here a whole lot, don't you?
It's because you're so useful, Zozo. Now have all these javelins.
Okay, I'll have all those javelins. I took the javelins that the Chief Evoker was giving me and asked him if there was any other reason why he was here.
There is. I thought you could help me deal with the Dark Knight Rider that has been plaguing us. That is because he tried my magic secrets, but I said no, and kept him from learning.
Why didn't you let him learn your magic?
Who knows? But secrets are meaningless unless you keep them.
That sounded kinda cool, but not in a nice way. Either way, I took my javelins and went to track down the Dark Knight Rider. From day 79 to day 84, I explored the Red Desert until I found Red's base. There, I saw the Dark Knight Rider, obviously about to report to his boss, the Accursed One. Eat javelins, you thief! I flew around the Dark Knight Rider and hurled the javelins one after another. He was barely damaged at all. The javelins were ineffective, so I switched to my shooting claw attacks.
Why would I eat those? Javelins and claws aren't food, but you're going to be minced meat once I'm done with you!
The Dark Knight Rider attacked me with his horse, which even with my diamond armor, still did a lot of damage.
See? I don't need magic to be a cool guy. All I need is a horse and style, and I can do whatever I want with my life.
You need more than that, Dark Knight Rider. Life isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about doing what must be done. That's what real coolness is all about. Inspired by my own words, I embraced the power of coolness and leveled up into a big-sized Supreme Venom Dragon with 100 hearts. How do you like me now? Probably not a lot, because I'm gonna destroy you with my coolness.
Oh, no! He's so cool now!
I sure am. But enough about me. Here's something that isn't cool. My 1,000,000-degree Dragon Fireball! I used my new special attack to defeat the Dark Knight Rider! The Dragon Fireball scorched him and his horse, leaving behind no trace he was even there, beyond my machete and a special key marked with geomancy magic. I have a feeling I know where this goes. From day 85 to day 89, I saw that Bogey the Fungus Thrower had almost completed the defensive bunker that I had gathered all those materials for.
All it needs is a strong door to keep out the authorities.
I can handle that. Leave it to me, Bogey. With a few more pieces of iron and glass, I crafted a set of metal warning doors and sealed the chamber by placing down the doors. The defensive bunker was complete. I'll be heading to the lush caves. Stay inside the bunker where it's safe. I brought the special key I got from the Dark Knight Rider to the caves and used the item to unlock the Geomancer's door. Finally, I can enchant the mace with the magic secrets of the Geomancer. On the other side of the door was a giant tarantula that spit poison at me. I struck back with a Dragon Fireball. The tarantula was too tough to go down in one hit, but the second and third fireballs hit their mark and flame-broiled the spidery mob. Now for those delicious secrets. The Geomancer had written the secrets on the wall, and as I read them, the mace became infused with power. Could this be the unmaking spell I need to defeat Red? I certainly hope it is. From day 90 to day 94, I exited the Geomancer's secret cave with the mace in my hand and found that Red was standing there in the lush caves menacingly.
What are you gonna do with that, Zozo? Are you gonna try and unmake me now, punk? Are ya?
It seems like the thing I must do, right?
Wrong! You could be free and cool like me if you put down the mace and stood by my side. I can still show you how to be awesome.
I'm not listening to you. It's unmaking time. I hit him with the mace, but the charged up magic didn't accomplish much of anything. Was the spell still incomplete? He hit me with a big punch that knocked away almost half of my health. That knocked me so hard, I dropped my mace, which he grabbed and hit me again. Before I could do anything back, I was frozen by some magic. Oh no, I can't escape.
You actually believed what Chief Evoker said? He doesn't know how to destroy me, and soon nobody will be able to. Goodbye, Zozo.
Red left, and I was still frozen by the scared still effect. I have to find a way out of here. From day 95 to day 97, I waited just long enough for the effect to wear down and go away. Now that I was released, I traveled through the lush caves. I knew that I had to talk to the Chief Evoker to find out the real way to unmake Red. When I arrived at the Evoker's base in the prairie, I found that all the royal guards were dead, and the Evoker himself wasn't far from it.
Zozo, where were you? The Accursed One rampaged through here and took out everyone, including me.
I tried my hardest, Evoker, but I was trapped, and Red, the Accursed One, was too strong for the unmaking spell.
I guess there really is no way to undo a mistake. I was the most uncool fool of all.
As he faded away, I was reminded of something I had known for a long time. I'd need to take this matter into my own hands. Red was going down. On day 98, I found my base in the Red Desert had been reduced to ruins. The sheep had all wandered far away. This was probably the work of Red, since I knew his base wasn't far from mine. I guess this desert really does belong to him now. He's made it clear that nobody else is welcome here.
Since when do we have to listen to what the Accursed One says?
It was Bogey the Fungus Thrower. He had survived the attack by hiding inside the defensive bunker. Bogey, you're alive!
I'm more alive than ever. We'll protect the overworld now, just you and me. I've got an idea to deal with Red.
Let's hear it. You've always come through for me, just like your favorite machete.
If we can take the mace from Red, we might not be able to unmake him, but we can reprogram him to be what he was always meant to be, a protector.
I like that plan. On day 99, I went to Red's base and flew in circles, shooting dragon fireballs at it until he came out to face me. After a while, Red finally appeared.
Give it a rest. You lost. I'm too cool to care about anybody now.
That's what you think. I'm pretty cool too, and I bet you can't beat me without the mace.
You mean this mace? I don't need it.
He threw the mace onto the ground, and we began to fight each other. I avoided his punches and hit him with my shooting claw attacks, then my machete. Red hit me with a strong attack, and I needed to get some distance on him. I blasted him with dragon fireballs. He ran towards me and tried to punch me again, but I flew into the air to avoid them. The damage from the fight was difficult to withstand, but I bought enough time for Bogey the fungus thrower to sneak up and steal the mace off the ground.
Zozo, I got it! Let's get out of here!
Great work, Bogey! I shot another dragon fireball at Red to distract him and then retreated back to the base with Bogey. Once we were there, we used all the magical secrets to change the unmaking spell into a make better spell. You stay here, Bogey. I'm gonna use this spell on Red the Accursed One and make him Red the Reversed One. Or the nice one. On day 100, I flew back to Red's base and went inside. Red the Accursed One was there waiting for me, but I was ready to face him.
All this time you've had to learn how to be cool, but you really just learned how to keep being a fool.
Actually, I've learned the best lesson of all. People who are really cool don't have to say it all the time. And they don't just do whatever they want, they do what they must.
No more speeches! I will unmake you like you tried to unmake me!
I was wrong, Red. I won't unmake you anymore. I'll make you better. We battled in melee combat for some time. I used the machete to chip away at his defenses until I could use the make better spell from the mace. The spell worked its secret magic, and soon Red was starting to seem a whole lot less mean. He grew in size and changed his color to a friendly green, becoming a golem with a kind streak as big as his arm span.
Wow, I don't want to be a loner anymore. I want to protect other people.
And everything was better! Now, thanks to my Make Better spell, Red, or should I say Green, would be the world's protector, and I would have a chance to relax until I was needed again. Day 1, I spawned into a cave full of wolves as a devil golem. That explains my devilish charm. Oh wait, looks like I'm only a baby devil golem. Maybe these wolves are raising me. I can't remember much. That's when a huge, scary soul eater came barging out of the shadows, like he was looking for me the whole time.
Don't you remember me, Zozo? You used to work for me until you got all those silly ideas about kindness and personal freedom into your head. Why don't you work for me again? You can help my world domination plans come true.
World domination? Sorry, Mr. Soul Eater, but that really doesn't sound like my scene.
Fine, then perish!
And just like that, the Soul Eater started breathing fire. I managed to dodge it just in time, but my wolf friends weren't so lucky. They got fried. Oh no, my wolf friends, you monster! The Soul Eater didn't care. He just watched as I ran out of the cave.
Me and my minions are going to hunt you, Zozo. We're the most powerful beings you've ever faced, and I guarantee we'll destroy you within 100 days.
100 days avoiding the Soul Eater and his crazy evil minions? Seemed like I had my work cut out for me. On day 2, I was able to escape the cave with my life, but I wasn't out of the woods yet. In fact, I'd literally run out right into the woods. What a coincidence. And I only have 3 hearts? If I mess with the wrong mob while I'm this weak, I'll be a goner, for sure. So imagine how I felt when a djinn, a powerful magical creature, flew out of the trees and started attacking me. You don't normally find djinns in overworld forests, so he must have been one of the evil Soul Eater's minions. Can't you guys leave me alone? I don't even know what's going on yet. There's something wrong with all of my memories. But the djinn was no talk, all action. He started attacking me with his extreme speed and magical abilities. I didn't stand a chance against him. But just as I was about to give up hope, a glowing wisp suddenly appeared behind me. She seemed almost as frantic as I was.
Quick, tell me, are you a good devil golem or an evil devil golem?
I'm really trying my best to be a good one.
Correct answer, stranger.
As the djinn prepared another attack, the wisp grabbed a hold of me and teleported me out of there. On day 3, thanks to being teleported by the wisp, we arrived in a friendly village where things seemed to finally be a little chill. I was grateful for that. Thanks for saving me, Miss Wisp. I'm Zozo. What's your name?
I'm Windy Wisp, and there's somebody I need you to meet, Zozo.
Windy Wisp led me through the village until we found the biggest building in town. There was a Viking villager named Eric waiting outside for us.
Eric, I found one! A good devil golem, just like you said.
Eric seemed impressed.
Do my eyes deceive me? All this time, I thought creatures like you were a myth, but I was wrong.
Wait, I'm a little confused here. What do you mean, creatures like me?
Dark magic entities, devils, they all work in service of the Soul Eater, and until now, I believed that they had no choice in the matter.
But you, Zozo, you have proven that it's possible for even devils to choose to be good.
But what does all this mean?
It means that you are a symbol of resistance, my boy. Perhaps, in these extremely important next 100 days, you can lead the charge to defeat him once and for all. What do you say, Zozo? Do you accept the call?
Of course I do. Somebody's gotta teach that meanie some manners.
That's what I like to hear. Windy, take him to the plains to start building his base. His training must begin immediately.
Yes, Eric. Come on, Zozo. Let's go.
On days 4 to 5, Windy Wisp teleported us to the plains, where we could start building an awesome base to sleep and train in.
We should start with some wood, Zozo. It's impossible to craft without having the right tools.
Very good point, Windy. I used my tough devil golem fist to break down some trees and gathered enough wooden blocks and sticks to craft myself a wooden pick. This is pretty cool, I guess, but I think we can do a lot better. Using my wooden pickaxe, I started mining and gathering up some stone and other materials for the house. After that, it was easy to make myself a set of stone weapons and tools. Hey, that's more like it. It's building time, baby. I used some of my gathered wood and stone to start putting together a nice mansion. Of course, it had bedrooms for both me and Windy Wisp, so we'd have places to sleep. She was so grateful for the help, she wanted to give me a gift.
This is a potion of strength, Zozo. I brewed it with my wisp magic, and I think drinking it will help you on your quest.
That's awesome, Windy, thank you. I guess the only thing left to say is, bottoms up. I took a drink from the potion and immediately found myself getting bigger and stronger. I even gained 2 more hearts. 5 hearts? Nice! I'm moving up in the world. On day 6 to day 8, feeling a little more confident about myself with a base and my new size and hearts, I decided to wander the plains. Maybe if I search around enough, I can find something that'll help me get my memories back. But instead, I found something wild, a mage getting attacked by a grue, a scary floating demon.
Excuse me, young devil golem. Can I get a little help here?
The name's Zozo, and help is on its way. I pulled out my stone sword and started attacking the grue. My first real fight. How exciting! The grue fought back and knocked off one of my hearts, but in the end, I managed to defeat it and save the mage from its wrath.
Thank goodness you turned up, Zozo. You really saved my bacon there. I don't know how I could ever repay you.
Oh, don't worry, mage. It's all in a day's work for me. I'm training to become a great hero and one day defeat the Soul Eater. So in the meantime, I'm happy to defeat any evildoer I can get my hands on.
In that case, would you mind helping me out with something else? You see, I came to this forest to slay a banshee that was scaring away some of the local villagers until this grue started attacking me. Perhaps together, we could defeat the wailing monster.
A banshee? Sure. How hard can it be?
Please promise me you won't make any more jokes like that, Zozo.
Oh, okay, sorry. On day 9 to day 10, Mage and I traveled to the forest to look for the banshee. How do you know when we're getting close?
Oh, you'll know.
I was about to ask him what he meant when I heard the loudest scream I'd ever heard. Let me guess, that's the banshee.
What was your first clue?
I wanted to make a joke, but before I could, a banshee came flying out of the trees, right towards us. It was shrieking all the way. I wanted to run, but I knew I had to be brave and stand by my new friend. I drew my stone sword and got ready for a fight. Mage and I tried our best, but the banshee was much stronger than I expected. It knocked me down, then knocked the mage into a tree, and I knew we were outmatched. Let's get out of here. We ran away from the banshee before it could do any more damage.
Dang, I was hoping the 2 of us together would be enough.
I guess I have to get stronger first. In the meantime, you can stay with me at my base. You'll be safe there.
Thank you.
On day 11 to day 12, I returned home with Mage. I made sure to build him a room there, including a crafting bench and a chest.
Thank you for the help and the hospitality, Zozo.
Absolutely. Now that we're somewhere safe and we can rest, I was wondering, do you know anything about the Soul Eater?
I know that he doesn't take kindly to his former employees leaving him for the side of good, which, as I understand, you did?
Apparently, and now he and his minions are hunting me.
Well, he's a nasty piece of work, and I don't know anyone who wouldn't like to see him finally taken out. If you need help, I'm on your side.
Thanks, and I'll help you too. Once I'm stronger, we'll get that banshee. After Mage and I talked, I built some bookcases for the base. Mage brought me a book to add to the bookcase, and I found an unbreakable enchantment inside. Great, this'll make my weapons stronger. Thanks so much. To finish out the day, I built a chicken coop and herded some chickens into it. Finally satisfied with the job well done, Mage and I both turned in for the night to get some sleep. From day 13 to day 15, I wanted to find new ways to get stronger so I could help with the Banshee and eventually defend myself against the Soul Eater. So I went to Wendy Wisp for some advice.
Well, I think getting more fighting experience is always a good way to get stronger. Maybe you should make a new weapon, too. Something you can use to fight from a distance.
Great idea! So I went out and gathered some wood and string and used them to craft myself a bow and arrow. Now it's time to take this thing out for a spin. I needed to try out my new weapon somewhere full of the biggest, baddest enemies possible. I know, I'll go to the Badlands. I ventured out to the Badlands and spotted Sudaramu, the giant scorpion, and one of the Soul Eater's minions, picking on a bunch of smaller scorpions. Hey, cut that out! As it turned to rush at me, I shot it with an arrow. It hit, and it actually did some damage. Awesome, Wendy was right. This thing is great. I fired some more arrows, and before I knew it, I defeated Sudaramu. The little scorpion scattered and ran away. A thank you would have been nice, but I didn't blame them for wanting to get out of there as fast as possible. Hey, looks like that giant scorpion dropped something. It was a subscribe to Zozo. Wow, I feel stronger and smarter already. I even gained 2 hearts. From day 16 to day 19, I decided to explore the area around the Badlands. I came across a cave I hadn't seen before. Cool, I wonder if there are any good materials in here. Once I entered the cave, however, I got a really bad feeling. Uh-oh, something isn't right here. Even though I was feeling nervous, I spotted a chest and decided to open it. It was full of netherite. Oh, cool! I've never seen this stuff before.
How'd you get in here? This cave belongs to the boss.
I was ambushed by a wildkin. Do you work for the Soul Eater?
That's right. You shouldn't have decided to come in here. Now you'll never leave.
He rushed me and started to attack, knocking me into the cave wall. I got him a few more times, and before long, I had managed to win the fight. Hey, wait a second. If this cave belongs to the Soul Eater, and it's full of netherite, I bet that means he's from the Nether. From day 20 to day 22, I started the journey back to my base. I couldn't wait to tell my friends about the battles I'd won while I was gone. On the way, I trained myself a little more on a group of spiders that attacked me. I defeated them easily. I really am getting stronger. After I defeated the spiders, I found some iron, which I made sure to pick up and take home with me. Once I made it back to the base, I smelted the iron and used it to craft some iron armor, an iron sword, and an iron shield. I finally feel ready to go back and face the Banshee again. Mage is going to be so excited. I traveled back to the forest where I first saw the Banshee. Just as I realized I was getting close, the Banshee flew at me and screamed. Luckily, I had my new armor to protect me. I pulled out my new iron sword and started swinging. This time, I'm ready for you. The Banshee kept swooping at me, but I was able to take the hits this time thanks to my new gear. Finally, I swung my sword for the last time and the Banshee dissolved and disappeared. I knew I had won. Something about this whole fight felt familiar too. I suddenly remembered. I had met this Banshee before, a long time ago. She worked for the Soul Eater too. We had worked together once, but I couldn't stand watching her attack innocent people just trying to walk through the woods. I've got to get back to my base and tell Mage about this. From day 23 to day 26, I tried to think and see if I could remember anything else from my days of working for the Soul Eater. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't. I rushed back home to my base, where Mage was waiting for me. I did it! I got rid of the Banshee!
That's great, Zozo! Thank you so much for your help.
So now that the Banshee's taken care of, I guess you'll probably head back to where you came from.
Nonsense! I'll stay here with you until the Soul Eater's defeated, once and for all. I'll do whatever I can to help.
Really? Awesome! After I talked to Mage, I gathered some stone and constructed a stone watchtower to keep my base more secure. I found some guster eyes and sand from a guster someone in the forest must have slain and quickly scooped them up. I used the items to craft a pocket of sand. I can use this to temporarily blind enemies. Finally, I built some walls around my base. Now this is looking really secure. From day 27 to 31, I decided to keep exploring and see what else I could learn about the Soul Eater and my bad old days working for him. My journey took me all the way to the beach. Wow, look at all the sun and sand and that beautiful ocean. I'd love to kick back and relax, but I don't have time for that right now. Gotta keep moving. As I was walking, I saw a horseshoe crab flipped over on its back. Hey, let me help you with that. I flipped him back over.
Gee, thanks so much, stranger.
Of course. Do you need a safe place to stay? You can always go to my base.
That sounds amazing.
I told them the way to go and sent them on their journey. Then I continued onward. Along the beach, I found a shark tooth. Neat! I can use this to craft shark tooth arrows. With my new materials, I headed back to my base. Once I was there, I put up some decorative banners to make the place feel more festive for the new residents. Pretty spiffy if I do say so myself.
Sorry to interrupt your decorating, Zozo, but I need some help. Eric's in trouble. His village is under attack.
Oh no, there's no time to waste. Let's go right now. From day 32 to day 35, Wendy and I rushed to the village to see what was going on. We arrived to find the place in ruins, filled with reavers making trouble.
Oh no, they work for the Soul Eater. This is terrible.
Luckily, we're here to help. I took out my bow and started firing arrows at the reavers, taking them out one by one. I was doing my best, but I definitely needed some help. Thankfully, Eric came running up to join the fight. I was so busy fending off the reaver who was attacking me that I didn't notice two reavers sneaking up behind Eric. By the time I noticed, it was too late. They both swarmed him and knocked him down. He didn't get back up. Eric, no! I rushed up and defeated the reavers that knocked him down, but Eric was already gone. There was no time to mourn. I had to take down the rest of the reavers. I finished up the fight and looked at the wreckage of the village. I couldn't save him.
You did your best, Zozo. Don't blame yourself. Blame that evil Soul Eater.
From day 36 to day 39, I needed to get my mind off of what happened to Eric, so I ventured out to the desert for a change of scenery. As I was walking through the sandy landscape, a little neck ran up to me. I pulled out my sword and got ready for a fight, but he was friendly.
Hey, whoa, buddy. I don't want any trouble. I heard you were the guy to ask for help around here.
I sure am. What is it?
I need help defeating a crypt keeper that took over the cave I was living in. Can you do it?
You bet! I headed to the cave and saw the crypt keeper lurking near the entrance. I fired an arrow at him and caught him by surprise. The rest of the fight went pretty quick, and I returned to tell that neck everything was okay now.
Thanks so much. Say, you're trying to take on the Soul Eater, aren't you?
I am. Do you know anything about him?
Only that he's from the Nether.
I thought so. Thank you. From day 40 to day 43, I headed back to my base from the desert. This place could use a little sprucing up. I decided to add some couches to give all my friends more places to sit and hang out. That looks much better. After I finished with the couches, the horseshoe crab I helped on the beach came to talk to me.
Thanks for giving me somewhere to stay. I've been really lonely since my friends moved to the forest. Hey, maybe they could come stay here too. Would that be okay?
Sure, I don't see why not. I built some additional rooms for the extra crabs, then headed out into the forest to find them. It was pretty easy to spot crabs in a forest, so I tracked them down and invited them to the base. They were excited to come stay with us.
Thank you so much, Zozo. I'm sorry to ask for something else, but could you help me out? There's some mutant zombies making trouble out in the mountains, and I don't know any other hero who could help get rid of them.
No trouble at all. I'll get to it. From day 44 to day 49, I arrived in the mountains. Okay, mutant zombies, where are you hiding? Foolish Zozo, the mutant zombies are long gone. These mountains are my territory now. The Soul Eater jumped down from the top of a mountain, landing with a crash.
Did you think you could hide from me? I told you we were coming for you. No one walks away from working for me, not without consequences. I'll destroy everything you love and make you regret leaving.
I don't even remember working for you.
Doesn't matter. I'll destroy your base and eliminate all your little friends. Then you'll have no choice but to be my minion again.
Never! I drew my sword and got ready for a fight, but the Soul Eater disappeared in a puff of smoke. In his place, he left behind a huge, strong Reaper. Uh-oh. Well, time to see how strong I really am. From day 50 to day 53, I battled against the Reaper. He was much bigger than me, but I had something he didn't, my trusty bow. I ran backwards to get some distance between us so he couldn't land any blows, and I started firing arrows at him. That was the advantage I needed to turn the fight into my favor. I'm a much better fighter now. Finally, the Reaper fell, and I knew I had won, and he dropped something. What's this? I picked it up, and it was a book of secrets. Wow, I wonder what secrets this has.
You're the only minion I've ever shown my secret hideout. The only other place I have the location is written down in my book of secrets.
You've got it, boss. That's right! I saw his secret hideout! I can't believe I forgot! From day 54 to day 57, I ventured through the plains on my way back to the base. There, I saw a horde of mutant zombies. This must be where they went when the Soul Eater drove them out of the mountains. I pulled out my bow and sword and got ready to attack. Hey, you undead freaks! I shot an arrow their way. As they turned their attention on me, even more mutant zombies came up behind me and attacked. Uh-oh, there are more of these guys than I thought. The fight was much harder than I expected. For a little bit, I was worried I might actually lose and never get the chance to beat the Soul Eater. But with the help of my trusty bow and sword, I was able to turn things around and take out all the mutant zombies. One of them dropped a potion of regeneration on the ground. I quickly picked it up. This will definitely come in handy when I go up against the Soul Eater. Time to head home. I drank the potion and transformed into a full-sized golem. I even gained 3 hearts to a total of 10. I traveled back to the base and told the horseshoe crab that the mutant zombies were toast.
Yay! I love toast.
It's just an expression. It means they're gone.
You're the best, Zozo.
Just doing my job.
Job? Wait a minute. You used to work for the Soul Eater. You helped him steal materials from villages near the beach.
Oh no, I don't remember any of that. Well, I'll have to do whatever I can to make amends for my past. I hope defeating the Soul Eater will be enough.
You're definitely nothing like you used to be. You're a hero now.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to improve the food situation at the base. I built more chicken coops and herded some chickens inside. That's more like it. That should help keep everyone fed. Next, I decided it was time to upgrade my gear. Time to find more diamonds. I went exploring in the mines and dug as deep as I could until I finally saw them. Beautiful, sparkly, strong as heck diamonds. I took them back to my base and got to work crafting some diamond armor, diamond tools, and a diamond sword. I'd like to see someone try to mess with me now. Before I set off on my next journey, I decided to improve the base a little more. I built some chests for extra storage and added some flower pots for an extra decorative touch, too. This place is looking better every day. From day 63 to day 66, I decided it was time to venture out into the world beyond my base and explore some more. On the way out, I ran into Wendy the Wisp.
Zozo, I was looking for you.
What's up?
I had a dream about you. I think it might mean something. I saw you in the middle of a snowy tundra. Maybe there's something out there that will help you.
Wow, maybe. I'll definitely go check it out. With this new clue in mind, I headed out into the snowy tundra. Brr, it's cold out here. I hope I can find something helpful fast so I can get out of here and warm up. As I walked, I saw a Yeti watching me. Hey you, I don't want any trouble.
Neither do I.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I was scared you might be here working for the Soul Eater. He's got it in for me, and I'm getting pretty scared.
Oh no, I don't work for him. Not anymore, at least.
Can you help me find a way to keep myself safe? I really don't know what to do.
Absolutely. Let's see what we can find. From day 67 to day 70, the Yeti and I explored the snowy tundra looking for clues or items that could help us. As we walked past an ice cave, a sylph came flying out at us. Everywhere I look, it's another thing. It's not easy trying to be good.
What do we do?
We have to be brave and fight. The sylph rushed at us and started attacking, but I was ready with my sword and shield. The sylph swooped at me, but I blocked its hit and slashed with my sword. I got a few good hits in before it swooped at the Yeti instead. Leave him alone. Pick on someone your own size. I rushed at the sylph and knocked it away from the defenseless Yeti, then delivered the finishing blow. Yeah, that's what happens when you mess with my new friend.
I just wish I had a way to fight for myself when the bad guys come after me. What will I do next time without you here to help?
I'm sure we'll find something. Wait a second, look at this. The sylph dropped something when we defeated it. I picked it up and handed it to the Yeti. An iron sword. Here, Yeti, you take this. It'll help you defend yourself if the Soul Eater's minions come to bother you.
Are you sure? Gee, thanks so much. You're right. You're not like the Soul Eater's minions at all. You're nice.
I'm trying my best.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, and I bet it'll all work out. Thanks for your help. I feel much more prepared for whatever comes my way next.
From day 71 to day 74, I said goodbye to the Yeti, then decided to keep exploring this cold area. I was getting pretty used to it. Now that the ice cave didn't have the sylph lurking in it anymore, I wanted to see what was inside. The cave led down into some huge ice caverns. Whoa, look at all of this! As I walked, I saw the strangest thing. There, on the wall of the cave, was written the words, "Make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up the adventures. And be sure to find more Zozo videos by searching ZO. Huh, weird. Oh well, time to keep looking. Just then, the Soul Eater busted through the subscribe sign in front of me.
Ready to come back and work for me yet?
Ah, you? No, I'll never work for you again. I'm a good guy now.
We'll see how good you are when you don't have any of your little friends. Just you wait. You'll come back. They always come back.
Not me. I'll take you down if you hurt my friends. The Soul Eater just laughed.
Try to beat me, and it will spell your doom. I'll be in touch.
Not so fast. I couldn't let him get away that easily. I drew my sword and ran at him, and he drew his weapon with lightning speed. He was ready for me, and he blocked my first hit, then knocked me back. It was a hard hit. Ow! Uh-oh, I might not be strong enough yet.
You'll never be strong enough. You'll always be my lackey, no matter what.
I wanted to stay and fight, but I knew I needed to flee if I wanted to live another day and eventually beat him. I had no choice but to run away before things got too scary. I'll show him. I'll get even stronger, and I'll prove that he can't keep pushing people around. From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back home to my base. I needed to do something to take my mind off that face-off with the Soul Eater, and fixing up the base was the perfect way to do it. Making this place cozier would make me feel better. So I built a fireplace and lit a big, roaring fire inside. Finally, I can warm up after all that time in the snow. Once the fireplace was finished, I sat down next to it and got comfortable. While I was lounging by the fire, the horseshoe crab came over to say hello.
This looks great. I love the fireplace.
Thanks. What's up?
I wanted to give you something. As a thank you for everything you've done to help me and others who found themselves in trouble.
He handed me a baked potato. I was getting pretty hungry.
That's no ordinary baked potato. It's a magic baked potato. I think it'll help you get stronger.
Oh wow, I thought regular potatoes were already pretty magical, but that's even better. I took a bite, and it tasted great. I mean, it was a potato. Of course it did. I quickly ate the whole thing. Then, I felt myself growing bigger and stronger. I gained 5 hearts. You weren't kidding. I feel great.
You look powerful as the Soul Eater.
I sure hope so. Thank you so much. That was an amazing gift. From day 79 to day 84, I decided to test out my new strength on some hostile mobs. Let's see what this new, bigger me is made of. I ventured all the way out to the savannah to see what I could find. There were a ton of skeletons roaming around, and when they saw me, they started closing in around me. Maybe I'd be scared of you back when I was smaller, but now I'm ready to fight. It hardly took me any time at all to beat the skeletons. Take that, you boneheads. After I finished with the skeletons, I was walking around when I spotted a lion curled up on a rock. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. I promise I'm not lying. I laughed at my own joke. The lion looked confused, but then he laughed too. I love jokes. How did you know? I love jokes too. I'm so glad you appreciate a sense of humor. My sense of humor is my pride and joy. Get it? Pride? Like lions? I do get it. Nice one. It's so nice to meet someone who knows how to laugh. You know what? Why don't you take this? I don't need it. And maybe it'll be of some use to you. A crossbow? Thanks. Right on target then? Yeah! From day 85 to day 89, I returned back to my base to show off my crossbow and tell everyone about the hilarious lion I met. When I got there though, it was in chaos. There were wargs attacking my base and tearing it apart. They smashed my flower pots and tore down my banners. If you fools touch my fireplace, I'll freak out. And then I saw it. They had smashed my fireplace. That's the last straw. Get out of my base, or there's more where that came from. I didn't want to destroy them though. I wanted to know where they came from. So when they started to run away, I chased after them. But I lost track of them when I followed them through the forest. Oh no, which way did they go? As I was looking, I ran into a black bear.
The wargs? I can point you their way.
That would be great.
Just help me first and I'll tell you where they went. Get me some honey. I've got a craving, but I don't have any money. No pockets, so I have nowhere to put it.
Oh, okay, sure. I searched until I found a beehive. Please don't sting me, bees. I quickly snagged some honeycomb, which I took back to the bear. Here you go.
Yum! Okay, they went that way.
Wait, couldn't you have just gone to the beehive the whole time?
Yeah, but they might have stung me. This worked much better.
I didn't have time to argue with this weird bear. I ran after the wargs. From day 90 to day 94, I ran in the direction that the bear pointed me in. I followed the trail until I finally reached the wargs, gathered together in a lair made of bones.
I see you finally made it. Come, let's talk.
I looked and saw a shade standing at the entrance of the bone lair. I followed him down into the lair. You were waiting for me?
I was. The boss wants me to teach you a lesson. Make sure you finally learn your place. Think you're too good for the Soul Eater? You're wrong.
I'm stronger now. I can take you.
I'm the Soul Eater's second in command. You won't stand a chance.
I ignored his Hans and rushed him with my sword. Less talking, more fighting. I swung my sword, but he blocked it, and he knocked me back. Hard. Uh-oh, he's strong. This is gonna be my hardest fight yet. From day 95 to day 97, I continued my battle against the Shade. I could see why he was the Soul Eater's top henchman. He was really tough. Definitely the toughest of his minions I had fought so far. Then, I realized I needed to get some distance from him. I ran back and got my crossbow, then started firing. It was just the advantage I needed. Using a combination of my crossbow and then my sword once he was weak enough for me to get close, I finally finished the Shade off. I did it! When the Shade collapsed, it dropped a map to the Nether portal. This is just what I need. I already knew where to go once I reached the Nether, but now I know how to get there. The side of the map triggered a flashback.
You have to do it, Zozo.
No, stealing was one thing, but I don't want to hurt anyone. I won't help you burn down the village.
They defied me. You would defy me too?
If it means I don't have to hurt anyone, then yes, I quit. That was it. That was what made me stop working for the Soul Eater. I wasn't bad. I made the choice to be good. I have to defeat him and stop him from ever hurting anyone else again. Then he'll see that not only am I a good guy now, but good always wins. I'll make the Soul Eater eat his words. On day 98, I returned and found the home was fully fixed by my friends, and I could prepare for battle right away. Only a few days left before the Soul Eater expects me to be dead meat. I'll have to be ready for him. As I was working on gathering diamonds and upgrading some more of my weapons, Wendy the Wisp came up to see me.
Zozo, I made this for you.
She handed me shark tooth arrows, crafted from the shark tooth I found. This is amazing, thank you.
Good luck. I know you can do it.
Next, Mage came to see me.
I wasn't so sure about you when we first met, but I've watched you grow so strong and capable. You're going to beat the Soul Eater. I just know it.
The horseshoe crab visited me next.
I'm so happy that I met you. You're a hero, through and through.
I hope you're right. Then a cake was brought out, and I knew everyone was sending me their best luck. There weren't any candles to blow out, but I made a wish anyway. I wished to do my best. On day 99, I made my way through the forest, carefully following the instructions on the map, until I reached the Nether portal. But it definitely didn't make me feel good to see that the portal was being guarded by a vicious gang of Krakes that must have been working for the Soul Eater too. Why do so many people work for this guy? Does he just have really good dental or something? I was trying to figure out what I should do when the solution came right towards me. It was my friend, the Yeti, with his iron sword. Yeti, I never expected to see you here.
You changed my life, Zozo. Since we met, and you taught me to stand up for myself. I've been traveling around, helping people out too. And now, I can do the same for you. Let me distract those Krakes. That meanie, the Soul Eater, he's all yours.
Without another word, the now brave and strong Yeti ran in and started battling the Krakes. It gave me the perfect opportunity to run up to the Nether portal and jump right in. On day 100, I burst into the Nether, ready to battle. My memories were starting to come back to me. I knew that the Soul Eater would be hiding in another fortress near here, amongst all that scary fire and lava. You can't hide, Soul Eater. I'm coming for you. I ran into the Nether fortress.
Remember that feeling, Zozo? Getting a little deja vu? We fought here once before, when you first started with all those silly notions about quitting. I hit you so hard you forgot who you were. This time, I'm gonna hit you so hard, you won't get up at all.
Big talk, Soul Eater, but my memories are coming back. I worked for you for years. I know all your tricks, and I know who I am. I'm Zozo, and I'm a hero!
Once a devil golem, always a devil golem.
Let's just see about that! I tried to pull out my crossbow and get a lock on him, but he was too fast. He got up in my face, and I didn't have time to draw one of my weapons. We were about to throw down, hand to hand.
You know, Zozo, to begin with, I wanted to get you back. Now, I'm going to fire you!
And he meant that literally, because he tried to push me into one of the many nether fire pits. If I hadn't dodged, I'd be done for. You can't fire me, Soul Eater. I quit. I fought back, unleashing my full force and applying all the knowledge and strength I'd gained over these past 100 days. I kept attacking, kept forcing him back, not even giving him time to strike back. Soon enough, he was exhausted and standing right on the edge of the lava sea. The Soul Eater knew he'd been defeated.
But you can't push me in, right, Zozo? Because you're a hero now, and pushing someone into lava isn't what heroes do.
I guess you were right about one thing, Soul Eater. Once a devil golem, always a devil golem.
No!
With one more strike, the Soul Eater fell back into the lava and he was gone forever. I was finally free. On day 1, I spawned in as Demon Steve with 5 hearts. Oh wow, Demon Steve? Maybe this means I should cause some mischief. Nothing too serious, of course, just some fun little pranks. But I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, because as soon as I did, a huge Iron Golem Knight came barreling towards me across the prairie. He was easily twice my size and scarily fast for how big he was.
Halt, foul demon! You have no business in these lands. I will destroy you now, for I am the brave knight, Sir Slashalot, and it is my duty to destroy evil.
Wait, I'm not evil. I'm just a little mischievous. I don't deserve to be destroyed.
All demons deserve to be destroyed, and I have made it my life's mission to do so. It's why I'm the good guy here. Now have at thee. It's time to meet your doom, demon.
Sir Slashalot didn't waste any time. He immediately tried to slash me in half. I guess that's how he got his name, so I tried to hit him back. When I hit him, he took some fire damage. That must mean that as a demon, my punches have a natural fire aspect enchantment. That's so cool! But I was still no match for the knight. I made a run for it, further into the prairie, until I couldn't see him anymore. I stopped for a moment to rest. Jeez, it isn't easy being a demon. Then, I was attacked by a bunch of fallen soldiers with a bone to pick. Thankfully, my fire punches were really helpful in defeating them before they could deal me any real damage. After they were finished, I found some shelter under a tree to finally get some sleep. I guess people really hate demons in this world. I wonder if I can still get by, even if nobody believes in me here. On day 2, I decided that if nobody was going to take care of me, I'd at least take care of myself. I punched down some trees with my powerful fire punch and used the remains to build myself a wooden pickaxe. This was perfect for digging into the ground and getting enough stone to build a complete stone tool set, including a stone sword. Now I'm ready to explore the world, and maybe do a little demon pranking too. I traveled from the prairie to the Red Rock Valley, which seemed like a fun place for a demon to hang out. Once I arrived, I found a nice clear area where I'd have plenty of space to build a base. I used some of the material I collected to start building a cool little demon pad where I could hang out and avoid Sir Slashalot and his men. It was pretty basic at first, with only a room to sleep and a room to hang out in. But when it was done, I took in all my hard work and felt happy. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. And clearly, my building attracted some attention, because I was soon attacked by a roving concrete golem. We fought, and believe me, he was as tough as, well, concrete. But in the end, I managed to get the upper hand and defeat him. But it made me realize how strong stone could be. Using a crafting bench I added to my base, I decided to build myself a full set of stone armor. Sometimes the best offense is a good defense. With all this work done, I added a bed to my bedroom and settled down to sleep. On day 3, I traveled from the Red Rock Valley over to the forest, where I could collect some more wooden blocks for my base. Even when you're a demon, you just can't beat the class of hardwood flooring. I cut down a few trees and collected all the wood blocks. Just when I was about to take the rest of the day off, a behemoth suddenly ran out of the woods and started attacking me. This is the last thing I need today. I equipped my sword and started fighting back. But even with my demon strength, I was still too weak to go toe-to-toe with him. Instead, I turned around and made a run for it, traveling deeper into the forest. That's when I ran into a hellhound. Hey, hellhound, I'm Zozo, and I'm a demonic creature too. What are you doing all the way out here in the forest?
Probably the same thing you're doing, trying to avoid Sir Slashlot and his band of not-so-merry knights. They've been coming down hard on anything even vaguely demonic. I lost one of my Hellhound brothers to his raids.
Oh no, that's awful! Tell you what, Hellhound, I think we should stick together. Come stay at my base with me. There's safety in numbers, right?
That sounds like a pretty good idea. Lead the way, Zozo.
From day 4 to day 5, I returned to the base in the Red Rock Valley with my new friend, the Hellhound. Because he probably didn't want to sleep in my room with me, I instead started building a kennel where he could live, one that would suit his needs perfectly. By the time it was done, it looked like the Hellhound could settle in nicely. It was a job well done. But sadly, it wasn't time for me to rest just yet, because I saw a High Reaver skulking around the outside of my base. He was someone I needed to deal with before things got too out of hand. No trespassers allowed, Reaver! I ran out and fought him with my stone sword, surprising him with how tough I was, even though I wasn't that experienced. It must have been that demon confidence serving me well. Soon enough, the High Reaver was defeated, and he left me a gift. A bow dropped to the ground, ripe for the taking. So I did. Now I have a long-range attack too. This is perfect. From day 6 to day 8, I went out to the plains in search of more resources. If nothing else, I could probably find some more stone to make my base bigger. However, while I was out there, just minding my own business, I was suddenly ambushed by Sir Slashlot himself. Uh-oh.
You thought you could escape me, foolish demon? But nobody escapes Sir Slashlot. It is my righteous purpose to hunt down and slay every single one of you. And now, with my new divine blade, which is extra dangerous to demonic beings, I'll finally be able to carry out my mission.
Sure, but you'll have to catch me first. I ran as fast as I could, while the crazed Sir Slashlot chased me. As I ran, I knew that I'd have no hope of stopping him. For now, the best I could do to survive was just run away as fast as I could and hope that he didn't catch me. During the chase, I even ran out of the plains and into the cover of the forest. Sir Slashlot kept chasing me, but I'd built enough distance between us to hide behind a tree. I stayed very still and very quiet while Sir Slashlot searched. To my relief, he didn't seem to find me.
You can't hide forever, demon. I'll search for you to the ends of the earth and back if I have to. Even if you hide in the deepest cracks and crannies of the nether or the dark mists of the end, mark my words, I will find you and I will destroy you.
After that, Sir Slashlot left. I was safe again, for now. He was right though, I couldn't hide from him forever. I needed to get stronger, I needed to defeat him. From day 9 to day 10, I returned to my base and wondered what I could do to start getting stronger, strong enough to take on Sir Slashlot. I went into the Hellhound's kennel to ask him for some ideas on what to do.
I think maybe you need some inspiration, Zozo. You're getting too stuck in your head about all this. If you want to be big and strong, you need to picture it. Maybe start building a statue of what you'd like to be like.
Oh, that's a really neat idea, Hellhound. I'm gonna get right on it. I collected some material from the area around my base and cleared a plot of land for me to start building my statue. I wanted to build a statue of a huge, powerful winged demon, just like I wanted to be after all my training. Once I'd laid the foundations and made the start of my statue, I went back to my base and decided to make a fireplace. After all, demons love fire. As soon as it was done, I sat back and warmed myself with the flames. Maybe everything would turn out to be alright in the end, if I tried my hardest. From day 11 to day 12, I went further than I'd ever gone before, venturing into the dark depths of the Black Forest, not knowing what I might find in there. I hoped, at least, that I wouldn't find Sir Slashlot waiting for me. Instead, I ran into a Gorgon. She was warming herself next to a campfire she'd built, and she noticed me as I approached.
Who goes there? Are you here to interfere with me? If you come any closer, I'll turn you to stone.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm not here to interfere with anyone. I'm just out here trying to avoid Sir Slashlot. He's been on my tail for almost 2 weeks now.
Ah, Sir Slashlot. That makes sense. He's been making trouble around the overworld for decades now. I've been around for all of it, and it seems he's only getting worse.
Worse? You seem to know a lot, Miss Gorgon. Can you maybe tell me where Sir Slashlot came from?
Well, long ago there was a village that was often under attack by demons and other demonic creatures. In order to protect the village, a powerful wizard created his special knight version of an iron golem. His purpose was to protect the villagers by destroying demons. But there was a problem, you see. Over time, the relations between the village and the demons smoothed over. Some demons even chose to live peacefully among the villagers. But this special iron golem, he didn't know how to take this. He wasn't even built to imagine that humans and demons could ever get along. So he went mad, and in his madness he destroyed the entire village, leaving no demons or villagers left. Now he roves the world, picking up others who share his mission, with the goal of eliminating demons and any who are kind to them. If you want to defeat him, you're going to need everything you've got, Zozo.
From day 13 to day 15, with the story that Gorgon told me still ringing through my mind, I decided I needed to stand up for myself and settle an old score. I went back to the forest where I'd first met my friend the Hellhound, and I hunted down the behemoth that had given me so much trouble the first time I got there. But this time, I decided to try a different tactic. Rather than engaging directly, I took out the bow I'd taken from the High Reaver and took the behemoth on from a distance. This time, it only took a few well-placed arrows to defeat the beast, and the XP it gave me let me level up. I got bigger, stronger, and got 15 hearts. Oh wow, and what's this new ability? I could now draw on my demon powers to use a ranged fireball attack. It took a lot of energy, so I couldn't use it often, but it was still a really cool power to have in my back pocket just in case. From day 16 to day 19, after deciding this would be a great time to invest in some upgrades for all my equipment, I started mining underground, searching for some veins of iron ore. But during my search, I also found a bunch of nasty cave spiders who weren't eager to have company. Looks like I gotta do a little pest control down here. I unleashed a fireball that blasted most of the cave spiders immediately. The last couple ran away after that, not wanting to get in any more trouble with me. Sometimes, being a demon can have its perks. I searched deeper until I found some veins of iron ore, mined them, and collected them. Then I took them back to my base for crafting. I built a furnace on my base and used it to smelt the iron ore into iron ingots. Then, with the help of a little extra wood, I made myself a full set of iron gear, including an iron pickaxe, a shield, and an iron sword. Now I've got an iron will and an iron loadout. From day 20 to day 22, I was chilling at my base when suddenly Hellhound ran in to warn me about something. He looked worried and frantic. What's going on, Hellhound?
Zozo, it's an emergency! Sir Slashlot is outside right now. You need to go stop him or he'll destroy the whole base.
There was no time to waste. I equipped my iron sword and shield and ran out to face Sir Slashlot, who was waiting for me at the base's entrance.
Impressive! I was worried you wouldn't even come face me, demon. Perhaps you're a little less cowardly than I thought.
I'm no coward, Sir Slashlot, but I also don't want to fight you unless I absolutely have to. You're making a big mistake trying to destroy all the demons. Most of us are just trying to get by.
I don't believe you, demon! You're just trying to trick me, but I won't fall for it! I'll destroy every last one of you!
With that, Sir Slashlot attacked me, and I fought back. Even though his divine sword was powerful, my shield helped me block a lot of the damage, and my iron sword was a formidable weapon. Despite this, I started to get worried that I might lose the fight, so I pulled out the big guns and hit him with a fireball. That made him stop fighting me and fall back.
This isn't over, Zozo. I will return and slay you and all the rest.
After that, he ran away. I felt lucky to be alive after such an intense fight, but for a second there, it felt like I really had him on the ropes. If I keep training and upgrading my gear, maybe I can truly defeat Sir Slashlot and his evil forces. From day 23 to day 26, I went underground to search for some new, interesting materials and found myself in the middle of the lush caves. This is great! Demons naturally love being underground, so this suits me just fine. As I searched, I found something extremely valuable, a protection enchantment. This would help me protect myself and ward off attacks from Sir Slashlot. And if you want to protect yourself from boredom, believe me, the best way to do it is to search ZO in your search bar for more exciting Zozo adventures. From day 27 to day 31, I continued to work on my statue. It was looking pretty good if I do say so myself, but I couldn't shake this feeling that something was missing. Oh, I know. This statue needs some red terracotta. I'll go to the eroded Badlands to find some. So I grabbed my gear and left my base, making my way out to the eroded Badlands to hunt for some new material. I hadn't heard from Sir Slashlot in days, so I was feeling pretty good about my progress. I eventually reached an area where there was plenty of red terracotta, but just by luck, there was a gang of mutant hoglins guarding it. I needed to do some battling today after all. Ready to see how a demon fights hoglins? I ran in with my sword and shield, blocking their attacks and returning mine. It didn't take me long to defeat the entire group, then collect all the material I needed for the next part of my statue. Come to Zozo. After collecting all the material, I went back to my base and continued working on the statue. It was coming along great. From day 32 to day 35, I decided it was time to go and explore a biome I'd never been to before, the snowy plains. Demons don't naturally like the cold, so I figured being out in the snow would help me toughen up to fight Sir Slash-a-Lot. And that toughness was about to come in majorly handy because it didn't take long for a big, nasty snow golem to run in, ready for a fight. Ready to kick some frosty butt, I pulled out my sword and took him on. He had the home field advantage, but I wouldn't give up. Soon enough, I was able to take him down with my sword. Once I defeated the snow golem, I kept moving until I ran into a crying snow fox standing in the middle of the snow. What's wrong, little snow fox?
The Dread Lich of the Snowy Plains stole my favorite guitar, and he wouldn't give it back. I'm not strong enough to fight him myself, so I don't know what to do.
Don't worry, little snow fox. I may be a demon, but I'm a helpful demon, so I'll go get your guitar back, or my name isn't Zozo.
Oh, thank you so much, Zozo. You're amazing.
From day 36 to day 39, I took some directions from the sad snow fox and ventured deeper into the snowy plains to find the Dread Lich. It didn't take me long because I could hear his terrible, out-of-tune guitar playing before I even ran into him. I hid behind a rock and watched as the Dread Lich played the guitar badly, but even if he was a bad guitar player, he still looked pretty tough. From here, I could also see he was keeping an innocent green pixie in a cage too. This guy was the master of taking things that didn't belong to him. At least he seemed pretty distracted by talking to the pixie.
So, what do you think? Pretty sick track, right? I told you it was foolish not to accept my invitation into my band. We're gonna be the next One Direction.
The only direction I want to go is out of here, Dread Lich.
An encore, you say? Coming right up.
Please, no.
Just like that, I formulated my plan. Using their sound as a distraction, I'd run right in, defeat the Dread Lich, free the green pixie, and get the snow fox his guitar back. From day 40 to day 43, I put my plan into action. It was time to make it all happen. While the Dread Lich was jamming out, terribly, in case you've forgotten, I snuck up behind him and prepared to strike him with my sword. But he spun around and hit me with his stolen guitar. It really hurt.
How dare you interrupt my band practice, little demon? Me and the green pixie were on the verge of riding our Sgt. Pepper, but you just disrupted the flow.
He's lying. He kidnapped me. Please help me out of here.
Silence, or I'll do scales again.
Oh goodness, please, no.
Before he could play any more terrible songs, I blasted a fireball at the Dread Lich. After that, he started attacking me again, but this time I was ready to fight back. I used my sword and my shield, timing my blocks and attack perfectly. Soon, the Dread Lich was no more, and I used my sword to break open the green pixie's cage.
I'm free, I'm free. Thank you, Zozo. I'll never forget this. I feel so grateful I'll never have to listen to the Dread Lich's lousy guitar playing again. I'm really more of a hip-hop and R&B fan at heart.
With the Dread Lich defeated and the green pixie freed, I traveled across the snowy plains again until I reached the snow fox. I found your guitar, little guy. It's super cool, and actually a really effective weapon, too.
Thank you so much for getting it back for me, Zozo. I trust you, so you're welcome to borrow it if you want.
That's so kind. How about you come live at my base for a while, too, just so you have somewhere safe to stay.
That sounds like an awesome idea.
From day 44 to day 49, I returned to my base with the snow fox behind me, practicing on the sick guitar that he'd loaned me. It's true what they say, demons are just naturally better at music. It must be why we make so many crossroads deals with famous musicians. I made a few upgrades to my base, including building a whole new room that the snow fox could sleep in while he was staying with me.
This is such a cool room. Thanks, Zozo. I think I'm gonna really enjoy my time staying here.
No problem, Snow Fox. You're always welcome here. And with the Snow Fox settling down, I decided to finish up day 49 by working on the statue. It was really coming along. I think things are about to get a whole lot better. From day 50 to day 53, things got a whole lot worse. Sir Slashalot returned to my base, and this time he brought friends, a group of Dread Knights.
You've tested me for too long, Zozo. Now I'm going to have to get serious with you. These Dread Knights are completely devoted to my cause of wiping out every demon. What better place to start than with the most annoying one of all, you!
With that, the Dread Knights advanced towards me, while Sir Slashalot stood back and watched. I refused to be defeated in front of him. I'll take you all on! And I did! As the Dread Knights poured in, I shot a fireball and fought them all. One by one, I took them all out until none were left. By that time, Sir Slashalot was already gone. This battle gave me enough XP to level up once again. I got bigger, stronger, and now I had 30 hearts too. Not to mention a new power, Demon Skin, which made me completely immune to fire and lava damage. This is awesome! I can't believe that actually went well for me. But not everything was as peachy keen as I thought. Suddenly, the Snow Fox came running towards me.
Zozo, I have bad news. I can't find the Hellhound anywhere. I think Sir Slashalot's Dread Knights might have just been a distraction for him to kidnap Hellhound.
Oh no, this is horrible! We need to get him back as quickly as possible! From day 54 to day 57, I repaired some of the parts of my base that had been damaged during my battle with the Dread Knights. Then I started building a stronger, taller perimeter wall, so if Sir Slashalot tried attacking my base again, it wouldn't be so easy for him. Once I'd finished making the proper tweaks and upgrades to my base, I knew exactly what I needed to do next. Go back to the Black Forest and speak to the Gorgon. She seems like she really knows a lot about Sir Slashalot in his past, so maybe she can help me. I journeyed out into the Black Forest as quickly as I could, knowing that every second counted, while Sir Slashalot and his men had the Hellhound captive. Luckily, I found the Gorgon in the exact same place, chilling out around a campfire.
Oh, Demon Boy, you again. Is there something I can do for you, or are you just here to warm yourself by the fire?
It's an emergency, Miss Gorgon. My friend, the Hellhound, has been kidnapped by Sir Slashalot and his forces. I have no idea where he's taken them. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, in the early days of his rampages, Sir Slashalot and his men would just rove from place to place, taking on different villages and bases as they went. But eventually, too many people started to band together and fight back. It was around that time that Sir Slashalot started building Castle Slashalot in the east. It was a dangerous castle with an extensive set of dungeons underneath. If your friend is still alive and being kept anywhere, I'd wager that it's probably there.
Castle Slashalot in the east. That's exactly where I'll go. Thanks again for the help, Miss Gorgon.
No problem, kid. And hey, when you're finally fighting old Slashalot, be sure to give him an extra wallop for me, will ya?
Will do. From day 58 to day 62, I knew that I needed to upgrade my gear if I wanted any hope of surviving a journey into Castle Slashalot. I found the nearest diamond mine and ventured inside with my iron sword and pickaxe at the ready. Of course, it would never be as simple as just waltzing in there, grabbing some diamonds, and leaving. There were some skeletons in there waiting for me, and they didn't seem all that friendly. And I'm guessing you guys won't just let me through because I'm in a hurry today? They didn't respond, they just attacked me. So to keep them at bay, I blasted them with a fireball and attacked the rest with my sword. It didn't take me long to defeat all those skellies. I then pulled out my iron pickaxe and started mining for dear life until I'd collected a whole bunch of diamonds. Then I returned to my base to do some crafting and forging. I combined my diamonds with some wood I'd gathered and created a diamond pickaxe, diamond sword, and some diamond armor. Now I felt like I was ready for anything! From day 63 to day 66, after all this hard work and upgrading, I was almost ready to storm the dungeons of Castle Slashalot and rescue Hellhound. But first, to make sure my head was in the right space, I did a little more work on the statue. Seeing the big, strong demon I was building helped motivate me to know what really mattered. Getting big enough and strong enough to beat Sir Slashalot and save my friends. And if you want to help me on my mission to make friends, get strong, build cool bases, and defeat evil bad guys, hit subscribe and ring the little bell so you can join me on all of my exciting adventures. From day 67 to day 70, with my new power and diamond equipment, I knew that it was time to make my way to Castle Slashalot and rescue Hellhound from the Evil Knight's clutches. I traveled east, following the Gorgon's instructions, until I saw a sinister castle on the horizon, and just knew that it had to be Castle Slashalot. And when I got closer and saw that the building was surrounded by Dread Knight guards, my suspicions were confirmed. I knew that Hellhound and Sir Slashalot were somewhere inside. I guess the only way in is just to fight my way through, but I need to be smart about this. I'll save my fireball power for Slashalot himself when I'm inside. First, I pulled out my bow and started firing at the Dread Knights. This took out a few of them and alerted the others to my position. It was time to fight up close and personal. I pulled out my diamond sword and ran into the battle, fighting off as many Dread Knights as I could. Thankfully, my diamond armor helped deflect the worst of their blows. Once all the Dread Knights were defeated, I ran into Castle Slashalot, searching for wherever I could find Hellhound. That's when I saw a tunnel that seemed to be leading deep into the ground. It must be the tunnel down into the dungeon. I need to get down there and save him. So I steeled myself and ran down into the dungeon, ready to do whatever I needed to save my friend. From day 71 to day 74, I entered the dungeon, searching for Hellhound. I saw a bunch of cells lining the walls, all empty, except one of them. And of course, that one cell had Hellhound waiting for me in it. He seemed so happy to see me there.
Zozo, it's you! Thank you for coming to save me!
Of course I'd save you, Hellhound. You're one of my best friends. Now stand back. I'm gonna bust you out of here. Hellhound stood back, and I used my diamond sword to smash open the door to his cell. Head back to the base, Hellhound. I'm gonna keep fighting my way through. Sir Slashalot can't keep getting away with all this. He needs to be defeated, here and now.
Good luck, Zozo. I know that if anyone could take down that monster, it's you!
With Hellhound released to safety, I could comfortably focus on my next mission, taking down the big boss. I continued to explore the dungeon. During my journey, more Dread Knights emerged and started attacking me. Lucky for me, with all my weapons and gear, they really weren't hard for me to defeat. Sir Slashalot should really start employing some tougher guys. These Dread Knights aren't even a challenge anymore. He should rename them Mild and Convenience Knights. Once the Dread Knights were defeated, I found a chest buried deep in the dungeons, containing one truly awesome item, a dragon bone sword. This is an even better weapon for a demon than a diamond sword. Using this, Sir Slashalot doesn't stand a chance against me. With my brand new sword, I kept searching until I saw an unfamiliar door. This must have been one that led directly into Castle Slashalot's inner sanctum. Hope you're ready, Slashalot. This is one demon you can't get rid of. From day 75 to day 78, I entered the first chamber of Castle Slashalot's inner sanctum and found that the diabolical knight himself was waiting for me.
Foul demon! You have defiled my castle with your presence, and you have taken my precious dragonbone sword from the dungeon. You've destroyed scores of my men, and worst of all, you've committed crimes against nature by existing as a demon. Is there anything in your vast list of crimes that I'm forgetting?
I think you're forgetting that time I hit you with a fireball, maybe?
What? I don't remember such an event.
Oh shoot, my bad. Sorry, I think I must have been thinking about it right now. I fired a fireball at Sir Slashalot, stunning him. That gave me a perfect opening. I ran in with my new dragonbone sword at the ready and started attacking, hitting him again and again and again, not even giving him time to fight back. I could tell that Sir Slashalot was badly injured by my attack because he retreated away from me, holding a defensive position.
You got lucky, Zozo, but you won't get lucky again!
Luck has nothing to do with it, Slashalot. You just made the mistake of assuming that a demon could never be stronger than you, and that's why you're paying the price.
You insolent little rat, I'll show you!
Then Sir Slashalot turned around and ran, and all I could do was try to chase him. From day 79 to day 84, I chased the wounded Sir Slashalot deeper into his inner sanctum, ready to finish this once and for all. But of course, I should have known that it would never be so easy. As soon as I caught up to him, I could see that Sir Slashalot wasn't running anymore. He was just standing there, watching me.
I have to hand it to you, demon. You've really pushed me to my limit here. And the dragonbone sword was a particularly ingenious touch. But I have one last trick still up my sleeve. Don't get scared now, Zozo.
Suddenly, Sir Slashalot began to glow and transform. He became a bigger, more imposing version of himself. What? I don't understand.
You don't need to understand, Zozo. You need only tremble before me. This is my final form, Ultimate Demon Crusader Sir Slash-a-Lot. Are you ready to meet your doom, Zozo?
For the first time in a while, I felt truly afraid. All I could do was turn and run out of the inner sanctum in shame. Once again, I wasn't ready to face him. From day 85 to day 89, I returned to my base, feeling really down after not being able to defeat Sir Slash-a-Lot in his new, more powerful form. I was lying in my bed, too depressed to even think about getting up and fighting, when I remembered something. My statue outside. It was almost finished. Even if I couldn't defeat Sir Slash-a-Lot, the least I could do is go out there and finish my statue. So that's what I did. I went outside, and using the rest of my gathered materials, I finished my statue. It looked magnificent. That strong, powerful demon. It reminded me of something important. If I keep trying and didn't give up, I could be that strong and even defeat Sir Slash-a-Lot in his stronger form. Just as I was starting to get my hope back, Hellhound approached me with some more good news.
Zozo, you seem down, so I wanted to do something nice for you, since you rescued me from Sir Slash-a-Lot. I upgraded your sword. It's not just any Dragonbone sword anymore. It's a flamed Dragonbone sword.
Oh my goodness, Hellhound, this is amazing! And it looks so much more powerful than my old sword.
To unlock its true power, you need to journey into the Nether's Crimson Forest and find the Fire Aspect enchantment. That will give you the punch you need to teach that armored bully some manners.
From day 90 to day 94, I left my base and ventured out into a forest to the west after hearing rumors that there was a working nether portal somewhere deep in the woods. After searching for 2 whole days, I eventually found it, exactly what I needed. Guess it's now or never. I'm so glad nobody was here to hear that. I hopped into the portal and was immediately transported into the nether. Following the Hellhound's instructions, I kept searching until I found the Crimson Forest and kept a low profile to avoid upsetting some of the less friendly nether dwellers. Wow, this doesn't seem like a particularly nice neighborhood. Thankfully, nobody spotted me and decided to pick a fight. Instead, I just kept searching until I found an old chest hidden in the woods, containing a book that had all the details of the Fire Aspect enchantment. Jackpot! Oh hey, what's that over there? I noticed a block with a strange color in the ground. It took me a second to realize what I was looking at. Ancient debris, one of the rarest blocks out there. Lucky for me, I already had my diamond pickaxe, which is the only thing that can mine ancient debris. I immediately started mining and picked up as many ancient debris blocks as I could carry. This is exactly what I need to give me an edge in the final battle. There's hope for me yet. From day 95 to day 97, I returned to my base one more time to make the final upgrades needed. Gathering that ancient debris was incredibly helpful because it would give me the ability to create some of the most powerful armor out there, even stronger than diamond. I took the ancient debris to my smelting furnace and smelted it until I had some nether scraps. That was the first stage of the process. Then, I looked through my storage until I found some gold ingots, exactly what I needed. I crafted them together to make some handy netherite ingots, which I then fused with the diamond armor I created earlier. The result? Netherite armor! Some of the strongest armor there is, straight from the nether, and perfect for a demon like me! Let's see if Sir Slash-a-Lot can even put a scratch on me like this! But I wasn't done yet. Next, it was time to enchant. I created the Unbreakable enchantment, one for each piece of my armor, and for my prized weapon, the Flamed Dragonbone Sword. Then, just in case things went south during the battle, I crafted a few healing potions, just in case I needed them. Before I set off to do what I needed to do, the Hellhound approached me one more time to offer some words of advice.
And remember, wait until just before the fight to activate your Fire Aspect and reach full power. He'll never expect it that way. You'll take him by surprise.
Thank you for all of your help, Hellhound. I never could have gotten this far without you.
Don't mention it, Zozo. I'd do it all again. Now get out there and show that rust bucket what we demons are made of.
On day 98, I reached the outside of Castle Slash-a-Lot once more, and this time, I wouldn't chicken out. I'd take him on and defeat him once and for all. Do you believe I can do it? Let me know down there in the comments, along with whatever adventure you'd like me to take next. And be sure to search Zozo for more exciting Minecraft videos. On day 99, I returned to the place that I'd once run from, Castle Slashalot's inner sanctum. The way in wasn't even guarded, so I knew that Sir Slashalot in his ultimate Demon Crusader form wanted to defeat me himself. That was a mistake I'd make him regret. I entered and saw him standing there, waiting for me. He didn't even seem intimidated, but then again, neither was I. It was the final standoff.
We meet again, demon. This time, are you ready to accept your defeat with some dignity?
Funny, I was just about to ask you the same thing.
Such a sad comeback. Do you really think you can defeat me like this, Zozo?
Perhaps not, but how about like this? I activated my fire aspect enchantment and began my own final upgrade. I became a huge, powerful demon, just like the one I'd built my statue around, with a mighty 100 hearts. I wielded my flamed dragonbone sword, ready to bring this to an end. I could feel the anger coming off of Sir Slashalot as I squared up to him.
Typical. Cheating demon. Can't fight fair to save his life.
Man, I'm getting so sick of hearing you talk. We clashed for the last time, but now I was ready. As Sir Slashalot tried to attack me, I was fast and strong enough to block. And in the end, one decisive blow brought the evil knight down.
I can't believe it. Defeated by a worthless demon. What a humiliating way to go.
I punched him one last time, and then he was gone! On day 100, I returned to the base, having finally defeated Sir Slashalot and ended the threat that faced all demons and those who were kind to them. I met back up with the Hellhound and the Snow Fox, who'd been with me through all of this, and I used the Snow Fox's guitar to play us a rad victory song. Life was sweet once again. On day 1, I spawned in as the Grim Reaper. Then I noticed I was tiny, and I only had 3 hearts. What is this nonsense? I looked around and saw that I was in front of a castle. Ooh, this looks interesting. I'll take a look inside. I opened the door and called out, "Anybody home?" Maybe one of my friends lived here or something. I started wandering around and found myself in a throne room. What is that? I saw a man with a mutant wither skeleton. He was holding a scythe. Wait, I think that's my scythe. How did you get it? The man screamed in rage and pointed at me.
Destroy him!
A bunch of zombies came out from the back room, and I gasped in shock. Without even thinking, I fired an icy blast that froze some of the zombies solid. Huh, that's interesting. I guess this is because I'm as cold as death. I ran out the door and down the stairs as the zombies followed me. That was not what I was expecting. And why does that guy have an army of zombies? That's not right. I found a small cave and decided to sleep there for the night. Tomorrow, I'll find out what's going on. On day 2, I left the cave to go exploring. I walked for half a day until I found my way to the Atum Forest. I don't really have a home, so I guess I'm gonna have to make one. I started collecting some wood to make a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. After some additional mining and crafting, I had some simple stone tools and weapons. Well, it's better than nothing. I had been working so hard all day, so when I stopped, I realized I was hungry. What does a Grim Reaper eat? I found some cows and pigs and cooked up some food for myself. It didn't do anything to help. In fact, it made me feel sick. Gross! I need to find something else. I noticed that it had gotten dark. Suddenly, a group of zombies popped out and started attacking me. With my new stone sword, I was able to take them out easily. They had dropped some meat, and I stared at it, hungrily. Maybe this will help me? I ate the meat, and sure enough, my hearts were restored. I feel much better now. I made it back to my base and worked on a few more things before heading to bed. On day 3, I went back out to find more materials for the base. It was safe enough, but I wanted to make some improvements. It turned out to be a nice day. I hope nothing too crazy happens today. I realized I had spoken too soon, because just then, I heard an awful crash. I ran to see what the noise was when I saw a Dread Queen fighting a bunch of zombies. Hey, leave her be! I rushed forward with my weapons. The zombies started to attack me when I remembered my trick at the castle. I fired out some ice blasts and froze up some of those nasty zombies. The others noticed and started to run away.
Nice job, Death. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Did you shrink?
Who are you?
I'm Famine. Do you know me?
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, this must have been Lord Terror's doing. I knew he was up to no good.
I was so confused at this point. Famine could see that I was overwhelmed.
You are the Grim Reaper, or Death. I'm Famine, and we have two friends, War and Pestilence. We establish order in the world. But Lord Terror, as he calls himself, started messing with stuff. He's been infiltrating the villages and turning people into undead.
That's horrible. Those souls need to be freed and move on.
I thought that's what you were planning, but nobody has seen you for a while. Now I know something bad happened. You're smaller and you don't look like yourself.
This is a lot to take in. How about we get back to my base? It's not a castle, but it's safer than out here.
Sure.
Famine and I made our way back to my base, just in time for the sun to set. On days 4 to 5, I helped Famine make a little home at my base.
I was driven out of my home by the undead. I guess Lord Terror is getting more powerful as the days go on.
The house wasn't too fancy, but Famine seemed to like it, and she thanked me. No problem, anything for a friend. I went out to look for some more supplies when I saw a group of skeletons near a cave entrance. I'm Death, surely they won't want to harm me. As I approached, they seemed friendly, but then they started shooting me with their bows. Hey, we aren't enemies! Honestly, I didn't know anymore. I was just a baby after all. I used my sword to attack, and soon enough, they were all gone. Hey, what's that? I noticed a bow on the ground, and I picked it up. It had an enchantment of flame on it. Nice, this will come in handy. On days 6 to 8, well out in the forest near my base, I gathered some meat from some more cows and pigs. Famine got hungry a lot after all. I'm gonna keep working and getting stronger. Lord Terror doesn't stand a chance against me.
Is that so?
I looked, and to my surprise, it was Lord Terror. He had a few zombies around him. Let those innocent souls go. You don't have a right to keep them here. Lord Terror laughed and swung the scythe around.
I'm the Lord of Death now, Little Reaper. I won your scythe fair and square.
What are you talking about? He seemed tired of talking, so he swung at me instead. Whoa! He was fast. I tried to dodge him, but he kept getting hits in.
I beat you once. I will beat you again.
I gotta get out of here. I ran as fast as my little legs could carry me. As I did, I heard Lord Terror laughing from behind me.
That's right, Little Reaper. Run away. I will see you soon enough.
On days 9 to 10, I made it back to the base. Famine could tell I was hurt, and she tried her hardest to help me.
It's okay, Death. You will grow stronger and eventually beat Lord Terror. He's just a silly little monster trying to steal other people's things.
I felt a little bit better after our talk, but I still felt exhausted.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have a surprise for you.
She brought me outside to show me a statue she was beginning to make.
Ta-da!
It's great, Famine! Is it a tent?
No, silly. Do you really not know what it is?
I looked again. Can you tell what it is?
I also made some other upgrades while you were gone.
She showed me the lanterns and a small archery range. Wow, you've really outdone yourself.
It's the least I can do for a friend.
Famine was awesome. I was glad I was able to find her. I hoped our other friends were doing okay. I would go looking for them soon. On days 11 to 12, I had a vivid dream. I was a fully grown Grim Reaper with my scythe at my side. I was living in the castle that I had escaped from on day 1. Everything is as it should be.
Not quite.
I looked and saw Lord Terror, except he looked like a normal villager.
I believe we have a game that needs playing, Death.
With his dark powers, Lord Terror began to steal away my energy and my ability. He shapeshifted into his mutant wither skeleton self as I became a sad little baby Reaper. Ah! I woke up in horror at the nightmare I had just had. I rushed to Famine to tell her about it. She shook her head.
So that's what happened. I knew you made a deal with a dying human, but I didn't know you lost all your power in the process.
That can't be it. Why am I back, but as a baby? Why can he control the dead? Famine shook her head.
Maybe our friends know. I think it's about time we go find them.
On days 13 to 15, I went out to explore. I was hoping to find War or Pestilence, but they didn't seem to be anywhere. I hoped they weren't captured or anything. I realized I was back in the area where I had seen Famine for the first time. There were a bunch of zombies milling around still. I guess they just expected her to come back. Get lost! I drew my bow and defeated them one by one. I didn't realize it until now, but I was releasing their souls from their bodies. I was freeing them. Nice. I managed to release all their souls when I felt a power coursing through me. I grew in size and became an older Grim Reaper. I'm bigger, and I have 30 hearts. I realized I could also now turn invisible for short periods. That'll come in handy. I can't wait to try this out later. On days 16 to 19, I found a cave and decided to mine for some more materials. This looks promising. Hopefully I can find some iron in here. As I was venturing deeper into the cave, I saw a group of skeletons standing right on top of an iron deposit. It looks like I'm gonna have to take care of that. I drew my bow. They noticed me immediately and began shooting. Come on, guys, I just need some iron. After just a few more shots, they were all gone, their bows and arrows scattered around me. I mined the iron without any more trouble and got to work. I smelted the iron into ingots with a furnace, then was able to make a new sword, pickaxe, and some other tools. Yes, things are looking up. On days 20 to 22, I started to head back to my base when I noticed I was being followed. I went invisible briefly and waited for them to approach. Then, as the figure approached, I turned visible again and jumped out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm a friend.
He was a crimson wizard, and the red of his outfit made me think of anger, which then made me think, are you War?
In the flesh. Yeah, I thought you looked kind of different. You're, not as tall as you used to be.
I told him what happened, and he whistled.
That sounds awful. Hopefully you can get your scythe and your castle back. Those are pretty sick.
Thanks?
No problem.
I invited him back to my base, and he happily agreed.
And I thought my house was a fortress, you know, being war and all. But those pesky undead got inside and started breaking everything. So I left. Good thing I ran into you.
We were nearly to the base when we saw Famine running toward us.
Oh, hey, Famine!
She didn't even acknowledge War.
Death! Lord Terror is outside. He is threatening to take down the base. Wait, War?
Sheesh, it's like I'm invisible.
Stay here. I'll go see what he wants. If I need help, I'll call for you. War and Famine got to catching up while I approached the entrance. Sure enough, Lord Terror was there with my scythe. I believe that scythe belongs to me.
See now, little Reaper. I won this fair and square. You agreed to the terms.
I don't even remember what happened. And you're just a human. You can't beat death. That's my calling.
You're wrong. The witch gave me the ability to win this power.
Witch? Lord Terror screamed and charged at me. I dodged him and used my Ice Blast ability to try to stop him. It didn't work for some reason. What in the world? He laughed and lunged at me again. I slashed him with my new iron sword. I actually managed to hit him, and he looked at me in shock. I was about to hit him again when he slammed a scythe into the ground, pushing me back.
I'll be back to finish you off.
And with that, Lord Terror ran away.
What a coward.
I'll say.
I looked and saw War and Famine looking out from behind the trees. I did manage to wound him though, so that means I'm getting stronger.
Yeah, but you have a lot of work to do.
On days 23 to 26, I chatted with War about Lord Terror.
You definitely need some upgrades if you're gonna fight Lord Terror and beat him. I can think of a few things that might be useful to you.
Like what?
Well, you definitely need to upgrade your sword. Iron is alright, but you need some diamonds and an enchanting table to improve your attack.
Okay, where should I go? War told me all the places where I would find the supplies. It wasn't a short list. This might take a while.
You want to defeat Lord Terror and get your scythe back, right?
Of course I do.
Then get to it.
I started gathering materials for the enchanting table and managed to make one all by myself.
Good job, Death.
Thanks. If you think I'm doing a good job, be sure to join me on all my other adventures. Just search ZOZO. On days 27 to 31, I went to check on Famine. I hadn't seen her while I was gathering supplies, and I wanted to make sure she was okay. Hey, Famine, how are you liking your house?
It's great. Look what I've been working on.
She led me to the statue, which I could definitely tell was an hourglass. You've made some great progress.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite there yet. I wanted to add something special on top. It's a surprise. Could you get some white and black wool for me?
Sure. I made my way outside to find some sheep to bring back to the base. I found an abandoned village and spotted some sheep in pens. Perfect! As I went to collect them, I heard something approaching. A horde of zombies were coming toward me. They must have been the villagers that used to live here. You guys need a rest, and I'm so sorry Lord Terror is doing this to you. I used my weapons to release the souls from the undead. I was much more powerful and helped them all in just a few moments. Hopefully, you can all be at peace now. I gathered the sheep and managed to bring them all back to the base. It wasn't easy, but I knew that Famine would appreciate it. On days 32 to 35, I went to gather some more food for all of us. Pork seemed like a pretty safe bet. I know the pigs will be easy to find, but I need to wait until dark for the zombies. I decided to set up a little trap for them, and sure enough, they fell right into it.
Impressive, Death.
Who is that?
You don't recognize my voice? Shame on you, old friend.
Then I saw someone step out from behind the mushrooms. Of course I didn't notice her. She was a mushroom lord. She blended in. Pestilence.
Did you shrink?
Yeah, I shrunk. I told Pestilence what had happened, and she hissed in disapproval.
Now, why would you do that, Death? You are too clever to be outsmarted and depowered by some lowly wither skeleton.
That's the thing. I think Lord Terror cheated me. He mentioned something about a witch. I think that he somehow won because of her.
Well, the only witch I know of is Famine.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. I've heard of an apothecary that lives here in the swamp. Maybe that's who he went to.
This is great information. Pestilence agreed to take the food back to the base while I looked for the witch. Hopefully, she could give me more information about Lord Terror. On days 36 to 39, I journeyed further into the fungal patch in search of the witch. I thought for sure that I would find her, but I didn't see a house anywhere. Where in the world is she? I looked around some more when I saw a group of rabbits. They were acting kind of strange, a little too organized. Maybe they're her henchmen or something. I should follow them. Actually, they're probably just stocking up on food. How silly of me to think that they were working for the witch. Then I noticed that the rabbits all gathered together again. They seemed to be examining each other's food. Okay, I should maybe look somewhere else. Then the rabbits all bounded toward a large mushroom and disappeared. Whoa, where did they go? I quickly followed after them, running straight toward the mushroom. On days 40 to 43, I ran through the fungal patch, chasing the rabbits. What in the world?
Intruder!
A large group of rabbits came bounding toward me.
What are you doing in Our Lady's realm? Did you have an inquiry?
Is this where the witch lives? The rabbits gasped.
You dare call her such a rude name? She is an apothecary of great renown.
Sorry, I just need answers. I don't mean her any harm.
You look like you do.
Then the rabbits started jumping at me. Hey! I didn't want to hurt them, so I just tried to swat them away as nicely as I could.
Death? What are you doing here?
I looked up to see a friendly witch.
Friends, no need to harass Death. I'm sure he has a reason for being here.
The rabbits stopped attacking me and quickly surrounded the woman. Who are you?
I'm Amelia. I wasn't expecting you for quite some time.
I'm not here to collect your soul. I just need to know why you helped Lord Terror.
Lord Terror?
He stole my power and made me regenerate. He took my scythe and is using it to keep souls captive in their undead bodies. Amelia gasped and started to shake her head.
That was Logan Turner. I gave him a potion of luck. He said he needed it in order to fulfill his last dream before he passed. I had no idea he would use it for such an awful thing.
She seemed genuinely upset.
I can't undo what's been done, but maybe this can help you.
She went inside her house and came out with a potion. What is this?
A potion of strength. You will need that in order to get your scythe back.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you again, but hopefully not for a long time.
She waved goodbye as I left her realm, returning to the swamp. On days 44 to 49, I returned to my base. Pestilence, Famine, and War were having a good time together. I noticed they had improved their homes as well as the wall of the base. You've been busy.
So have you, my friend. Did you find the witch?
Apothecary, and yes, she was very nice. I told them the whole story and showed them the potion.
That'll be useful later. I'm glad you were able to find her. Probably gave her quite a scare though.
Just a little bit. We all laughed and chatted for a little bit before Famine jumped up.
Oh, come look at the statue.
I went to look and sure enough, Famine had outdone herself. On top of the hourglass was a skull that looked just like my face. Whoa, it's amazing.
You've been a great friend to us, Death. It's the least we can do.
We admired the statue together for a little while longer and then went to bed. On days 50 to 53, I woke up to a loud crash. I hurried outside to see what it was, and there were zombies everywhere. I could see Lord Terror standing on the edge of the wall. Come and fight me yourself, Logan.
Don't call me that!
He snarled at me and then swung the scythe. It nearly knocked me over, but it also knocked out some of the undead. Time to be freed, my friends. I used my iron sword on the group of undead, freeing them from their cursed bodies. It took a little while, but I eventually got them all. You can all be at peace now. Just then, I felt a pain in my back. I grew taller and gained more hearts. I looked at my back to see what the pain was and realized that I had grown dark feathery wings. Whoa, this is amazing! I flew up for a minute to survey the damage. This is gonna take some time to fix.
Death!
I looked and saw famine and pestilence running toward me. I lowered myself to the ground. What's wrong?
Lord Terror took war. The undead were just a distraction.
No! I slumped to the ground. I thought I could protect everyone, but Lord Terror was too clever. He needed to pay. On days 54 to 57, we all worked hard to fix the base. We gathered supplies, made the walls taller, and added extra security measures, including a small moat. After working all day, we sat down to chat about our next move.
There's no doubt that Lord Terror took war to the castle.
Why do you say that?
Oh yeah, you don't remember. There's a massive dungeon in the basement. It has cages, traps, and all sorts of things. We actually used it to meet there sometimes for brunch.
Sounds lovely.
It was. We should do it again soon.
Famine cleared her throat.
Sorry, but he'll be there for sure. There is a back entrance where we would come in. Quicker that way.
Pestilence gave me directions, and I wrote them down. I needed to find our friend before Lord Terror did something awful. But first, I needed to prepare. On days 58 to 62, I went mining for more diamonds. I needed to make some better armor and weapons for myself, since I had no idea what I might face at the castle. I wasn't having any luck, and was about to go search another cave, when I saw a glimmer just up ahead. Diamonds! I walked forward, then felt something fall on me from above. It was a huge hairy spider, and he had brought some friends. I'm a friend, no need to hurt me. The spiders kept attacking, and I had no choice but to defend myself. Soon enough, they were all gone. Now, on to the diamonds. The deposit was actually really large, and I managed to make armor, plus a new sword and a pickaxe. Sweet! I felt just a little bit more ready to go save war. On days 63 to 66, I noticed that part of the statue had been damaged during the fight. I didn't want to finish it without war, so I just admired it, with all its burns and marks. I'll save you, War, I promise.
Hello, Mr. Death, sir!
I looked and saw some of Amelia's rabbit friends gathering around me. You aren't going to jump on me again, are you?
No, sir, we need your help. Amelia has been captured by that Lord Terror man. We don't have the strength to get her back. Could you get her back?
The rabbits looked very concerned. Of course, he has my friend too. He's probably keeping them in the same place.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Death, sir.
I'll be back soon. In the meantime, you can wait here with my friends. They can help you. They agreed to stay while I rescued Amelia. This was going to be a little bit more difficult, but I was determined. And hey, if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe. We love having you here with us. On days 67 to 70, I followed the directions to the backdoor entrance of the dungeon. It was hiding behind some trees and bushes. Good job me for thinking ahead. I entered quietly and made my way down, down, down. I didn't hear much for a while, so I thought I was in the clear. What was that? I turned a corner and saw a swarm of zombies blocking the hallway. They saw me and started ambling toward me. Get back! I used my wings to fly over them. I fired my ice blast at them from the air, freezing them solid. Peace, friends. I lowered myself in front of a door and opened it carefully.
Death!
It's about time you showed up.
War and Amelia were stuck in cages, and I quickly broke the bars to free them.
How did you know I was here?
Your loyal little friends told me.
They really are the best, aren't they?
Sure are. Let's get out of here. On days 71 to 74, we made our way back up toward the back door. Then I noticed a lever I hadn't seen before. It was hiding behind a pillar. I wonder what this opens.
Is that a wise idea?
It was my house. I'm sure it'll be fine. I released the lever and a trapdoor opened. I went inside and saw a chest in a small room. There's a chest.
Well, what are you waiting for? Open it.
I opened it, and inside were netherite ingots, gold, diamonds, and some other ingredients for enchanting. Wow! I climbed back up and showed War.
Hey, you can finally make that sword we've been talking about.
Right! We continued out, following the stream of daylight. On days 75 to 78, we finally made it out!
Thank goodness. I was beginning to think that Lord Terror would hold us there forever.
Not so fast.
Lord Terror came around the corner, scythe in hand.
You dare take my witch and my strongest soldier?
I am not a witch.
Then I would never fight for you.
We brandished our weapons as Lord Terror snarled.
Why won't you just die?
He swung the scythe, but I managed to dodge. I then swung my sword and hit Lord Terror. He stepped back, then swung again. He was fast, but I was an equal opponent now. I could sense his fear.
No, 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 no!
He slammed the hilt of the scythe into the ground and blasted us back. Somehow, through some dark magic, he stole my potion of strength and drank it. On days 79 to 84, we all watched in horror as Lord Terror grew and grew and grew. He was enormous!
Oh no!
We need to go! Lord Terror laughed as I picked up my friends and flew away with them. This has to end soon, or Lord Terror is going to take over everything! On days 85 to 89, we arrived safely back at my base. Famine and pestilence came running out to greet us.
Okay, you better not cry, because I'm not good at dealing with emotion.
Amelia saw her rabbits, and they all jumped for joy. It seemed like things were at least a little normal for now.
Death, come! We need to fix that sword of yours.
War took me to upgrade my sword, and then showed me how to enchant it. Wow, this will really help, War. Thanks for everything you've done.
Hey, I love conflict, but not when it involves my friends. It's the fire aspect enchantment. It'll give your sword a burning edge. This will help you to get your scythe back.
How?
Lord Terror doesn't always have the scythe with him. He likes to hang it up in the main corridor and just admire it. I heard him talking about it while we were captured.
This is great information, War.
If you can fight him off long enough to get the scythe back, that'll be the key to stopping Lord Terror for good.
I agreed and went to show my friends. They oohed and awed before Famine spoke up.
Come and see what Pestilence and I did with the help of the rabbits.
They took me over to the statue, which now had wildflowers growing all around the base. On top was the skull, now with flowers and a touch of flames. Guys, this looks awesome.
You are the Lord of Death, but we know you have a soft side.
I do like flowers. I stared at it in awe. I really did have amazing friends. On days 90 to 94, I traveled back to the castle to retrieve my scythe. If I did it while Lord Terror was unaware, surely I would be able to defeat him. As I approached the castle, I decided to just hide next to one of the pillars inside the throne room and stake it out. I could see Lord Terror back to his normal size. Thank goodness. He was standing around, admiring the scythe. That's mine. I waited for a long time before he fell asleep. I quietly opened the door and snuck past him, grabbing the scythe from the wall. I expected to grow into my full form, but something was wrong.
Intruder!
Lord Terror started to charge at me. I brandished my new sword and smacked him backwards. He brought out another potion and drank it before charging at me. He was incredibly fast, and I could barely see him as he struck me. Oh no! My hearts were fading fast since I couldn't defend myself. I ran away, taking the scythe with me.
It won't work for you, little Reaper. You are too late.
I didn't know what he meant, but I flew away before he had a chance to attack me again. I need to fix whatever he did to my scythe, otherwise I'm dead meat. On days 95 to 97, I brought my scythe back to the base and had War examine it.
I don't know what to tell you. It looks normal to me.
Maybe Amelia will know. I took it to her and she examined it.
This is my fault. Lord Terror forced me to make a binding spell. He is now bound to the scythe by an enchantment.
How do I break it?
I'll have to make a counterspell, but it will probably take a few days. You might even break it.
Do it. She worked tirelessly trying to fix the scythe, and I did what I could to assist her. I really need this to work. On day 98, I helped Amelia with what I could, but she said I needed to wait for the result. I made my way outside and admired our base and the statue. It had been a difficult journey so far, but I was glad that I had found my friends, made some new ones, and grown stronger. Even if my scythe didn't work, I knew that I would defeat Lord Terror somehow. Hey, we're really glad that you've been here on this journey too. Be sure to subscribe and search for Zozo for more videos. Also, comment below on what my next adventure should be. I can't wait to see what you say. On day 99, I went to look for Amelia. She looked a little discouraged.
I don't know if the spell worked. You'll need to wield it in battle to see.
Well, then I guess it's time to go fight Lord Terror.
I'm sorry about all the trouble I've caused. If it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened.
Maybe, but I'm glad it did. I got to find my old friends again, build an awesome base, and meet you. You're an awesome apothecary, Amelia.
Which? But who's keeping track? Go give him, well, you know.
I smiled as I flew off towards the castle, scythe in hand. As I landed on the steps, the door was open for me. The undead were nowhere to be seen, but Lord Terror stood on the steps, sword in hand, potion in the other.
You can't defeat me.
We'll see about that. I took my scythe and slammed the hilt into the ground, causing everything to shake. I felt a surge of power, and I was connected to my weapon again. I grew taller, my hearts increased, and my wings spanned further. You have cheated death, Logan Turner, and for that, you must pay. Lord Terror drank a potion, and he grew taller. As our weapons met, there was a brilliant burst of light.
It's not fair. I am Lord Terror, the new Grim Reaper. I earned that title.
I lifted myself into the air, letting the scythe swing down with a mighty force. You stole that title. I am the rightful Grim Reaper, and now you must move on. Lord Terror screamed before the scythe made contact, and in a burst of smoke, he was gone. On day 100, I flew back to the base triumphant and glorious in my final form. Everyone cheered as I descended, and they even tried to hug me.
You're our hero! The world is finally right again!
And that was the honest truth. On day 1, I spawned in as Black Panther. I only have 4 hearts. That doesn't seem like a lot for a superhero, but I can move quickly thanks to my cat-like reflexes. And it looks like I have vibranium claws too. Neat! Hey look, there's a waterfall right behind me. And there's some kind of skeleton with a giant battle axe? What is he doing here? Uh-oh, are we about to fight? Bring it on! The skeleton ran at me and swung his weapon, but with my cat-like reflexes, I dodged him easily. I ran up behind him and hit him with my claws. These claws were really powerful. Whoa, he fell right over the waterfall. I won! Too bad I can't get any loot from that skeleton because he fell down so far. I really wanted that cool battle axe. I decided to go to the bottom of the waterfall and look to see if I could find it. When I got there, I saw that the skeleton was still standing. He ran at me again, but this time I faced him head on. He was no match. And look at that, he dropped the battle axe. It's not vibranium, but it's still pretty cool. I wonder where that skeleton got it. I decided to take shelter in a cave under the waterfall and relax for the rest of the day. On day 2, I was woken up by the sounds of an angry gorilla. It had come out from the back of the cave and was trying to attack me. I looked at it a little closer and realized that it wasn't an ordinary gorilla. It was a zombie ape. Ah, get away from me, zombie. Don't make me use my new weapon. I ran away from the zombie ape and out into the sunlight where it didn't want to follow me. I guess that it was one of those mobs that take damage in the daytime. It was an undead just like the skeleton I fought yesterday. Maybe they were common in this area. I decided to leave the waterfall behind and follow the river towards the grasslands. Whoa, there are so many animals here. I could see a rhino and a giraffe, and it looked like they weren't zombies. Thank goodness. I guess I'll let them eat grass in peace, especially because I was starting to get hungry too. I saw some berry bushes, so I started punching them to gather food. Once I got enough, I refilled my canteen in the river. Surviving would be a lot easier now, and if I got into a fight, I already had some pretty good weapons. Still, I thought it might be good to build a shelter in case the zombies came out at night. I used the battle axe I got from the skeleton to chop down trees. I soon had enough wood to make a small hut and bed. It was almost nighttime, so I went inside and went to sleep. When I woke up on day 3, I noticed that there was a tree outside that wasn't there yesterday. It was really big and looked ancient and magical. There was a glowing panther spirit sitting in the branches. I made my way over to the magic tree, and the panther spirit started talking to me.
Zozo, this land needs your protection.
Oh, it looked like I was going to get a superhero quest. I stood there and I listened closely.
We are under attack by an undead warlord to the west of the grasslands. He is turning everything into zombies and skeletons. You must stop him.
An undead warlord? That sounded scary, and he was probably really strong. I'd need a lot more than 4 hearts to take him on, but I couldn't just ignore a quest from the panther spirit. The people and animals needed my help too, and maybe there was a way to turn the animals that had already become zombies back to normal.
Journey westward, and you will find his evil lair.
I spent the rest of the day gathering supplies for my journey and practicing with my weapons on any mobs I could find. On days 4 to 5, I traveled from my hut in the grasslands all the way to the heart of the desert. According to the panther spirit, I was heading in the right direction to reach the overlord's lair. Before long, I saw a zombie boar wandering around in the sand. Oh no, looks like the overlord has already turned the animals in the desert into zombies. The zombie boar charged me, and I lost a bit of health. I had to protect myself, so I drew my battle axe and took a couple swings. I'm sorry, Mr. Boar. The fight was over in no time. I spotted an oasis nearby. I had been traveling for a long time and
night would be here soon. I didn't want to be caught outside if more zombies showed up, so I gathered some wood from the palm trees and set up camp. I had just finished my little oasis hut when a genie appeared out of thin air. I thought I was going to get 3 wishes at first, but then he spoke, and I knew he wasn't the nice kind of genie.
Who dares come to my oasis without an invitation?
I said I was sorry and that I just needed somewhere to spend the night, but the genie created a sandstorm, and suddenly the oasis was gone. He may not have granted me any wishes, but he had left an item behind in the sand. I went to pick it up, and it turned out to be a brand new pair of Roadrunner boots. Awesome, now my movement over the sand will be twice as fast. On days 6 to 8, I was still in the desert when I saw a gigantic archway made of bones. There was a skeleton warrior underneath it, and he was carrying an obsidian shield and spear. It didn't look like he was going to let me pass without a fight. I put my battle axe away and got my vibranium claws ready.
You cannot go any further. I am the Skull Guardian, and you can't beat me.
He seemed serious, but I had to try. If I couldn't win here, there was no way I could beat the Overlord. I attacked him, but even my vibranium claws couldn't get through his shield. It was too tough, even for obsidian, and his spear kept damaging me. I was almost out of health. The only thing I could do to survive was run away. Good thing I had those Roadrunner boots. I turned around and got out of there. The Skull Guardian stayed at the archway and shouted after me.
You are too weak. Come back when you are stronger.
Maybe I still needed some more training. While I was running away though, I was spotted by a group of hoglins. I could have easily run away from them, but I was tired of running. I stopped and decided to face them. I took out my claws and defeated each and every one of them. When I defeated the last hoglin, I suddenly felt something inside of me. I grew into an even bigger Black Panther with more hearts. I also saw that the hoglins had dropped a ton of leather. I could use this when I got back to my base. On days 9 to 10, I went back to the grasslands to expand my hut into a base. I used some sandstone from the desert to make it into a small tower and crafted myself a full set of leather armor too. I then crafted a shovel. I felt a pull to this area for some reason, like it was calling to me, so I dug down until I hit some stone. There, I had an entrance to a mine beneath the tower now. I'd have to check it out further later. I built more furniture inside the base. Using wood I was able to gather from a bunch of trees in the grasslands. The one tree that I didn't use for wood was the ancient spirit tree. The panther spirit wasn't there, but I was hoping that maybe it would show up to help me again. I definitely needed some advice on how to defeat the Skull Guardian. If I couldn't beat him, I would never be able to defeat the Overlord and save this land from zombification. On days 11 to 12, I was walking along the river when I saw the zombie ape from the cave splashing around in the water. Had it followed me all the way to the grasslands? It really might have, because it noticed me and ran up to attack. I was a lot stronger now though. This ape didn't know what he was getting himself into. Sure enough, I was able to win against the zombie ape that I ran away from on day 2. I looked at the river to see a water elemental emerging from below the surface.
Thank you. That zombie had taken over my home behind the waterfall, and last night it chased me all the way here to the grasslands.
Who are you?
I am the spirit of the river, and I can see that you are a great hero. This land needs a protector, and I'm glad you were here to save me.
I'm not that great of a hero yet. I need to beat the Skull Guardian, or I'll never save the animals.
Have faith in yourself. I am friends with the Panther Spirit, and he believes you can do this.
But last time I fought against him, I didn't even damage him, and he almost took all of my health.
The only reason you lost to the Skull Guardian was because he had an enchantment cast on him that shields him from the attacks of the living.
The spirit of the river handed me a potion.
Drink this potion, and your claws will be able to strike true. That should make it a fair fight.
I said thank you to the spirit. If so many beings were counting on me, I couldn't give up. On days 13 to 15, I decided to check out my mine again, but first, I needed to grab my pickaxe. I still felt something drawing me to dig deeper, so I started digging down. Whoa, what's that? It was a strange material. Vibranium! Turns out, there was a lot of it just below the surface. This land must be rich in it or something. Either that, or I just discovered the only vibranium mine around. I gathered a bunch of it and went to my base to see what I could craft. It turned out I could make a full set of vibranium armor and tools. Super! I have some serious armor now. My base is also looking way cooler. It's tricked out with vibranium walls and minecart rails. I kept the ancient tree protected in its own little courtyard and made sure to give it plenty of water. I also remembered to plant trees around the grasslands so that I get more wood in the future. On day 16 to 19, I was making my way back through the desert when I ran into a group of husks, and it looked like they wanted to meet the Black Panther up close and personal. The husks attacked me, but I fought back, clawing away at them. Take that, you dried out no-good zombie, and here's one for you, you wannabe mummy. Before I knew it, I had beaten the whole group, but then I heard something and turned around. There was one more husk, and this one was way bigger than the others. That's a huge husk. I wasn't scared though, and I rushed right in to face him. The huge husk hit a lot harder than his little brothers, but his skin was just as soft as theirs, and before long, he was down for the count too. You know, I was glad those husks attacked me though. It was good practice for my claws, since I knew I'd be facing the Skull Guardian soon. On days 20 to 22, I reached the archway where the Skull Guardian was waiting and challenged him to a fight.
So, you think you can beat me this time?
Sure I can. Watch this! I drank the potion that the water elemental gave me, and now my attacks could actually damage him. I still had to keep my guard up and dodge a spear attack, but even his shield couldn't stop my vibranium claws this time. After several hits, he finally went down and dropped a skeleton key. A skeleton key? Was this thing made from the skull of the guy I had just defeated? Gross. This would probably come in handy later though, so I made sure to take it with me. My journey continued on, and soon I made it out of the desert to a magical wasteland. I'd have time to explore it soon, but for now, I decided to get back to my base, but not in the way you might be thinking. On days 23 to 26, I decided I didn't want to have to cross through the desert again in case I ever wanted to come back here, so I decided to build a massive tunnel back to my base. I dug down a little ways and then started tunneling in the direction of my base, placing torches as I went. It took a long time, but eventually I got to where I thought my base should be and tunneled up out of the ground. I popped up right in front of my base. How's that for good luck? When I got to the door of my base though, I saw there was a package waiting for me with a note attached to it. This must be from the water elemental. I could tell because it was all wet. The note read,
Dear Zozo, you're doing great. I knew you could defeat the Skull Guardian. Included are some potions that should make your journey easier. P.S. If you're liking the video, make sure you search for other Zozo videos at ZOZO to see more adventures he's been on.
Yep, definitely weird, but when I opened the package, I saw it was full of experience potions. Nice! I drank the potions and felt myself starting to change. I grew bigger and had more hearts, too. On days 27 to 31, I upgraded my base to look a little nicer, since Black Panther is a king after all. I started a statue outside too, something that I knew would inspire me every time I came back to my base. I know it's only the very start, but can you tell what it is yet? Next, I laid down some track in the tunnel so I could quickly get back to the wasteland using a minecart. When my minecart ride was over, I exited the tunnel and took a look around the wasteland to see if I could find any sign of the Overlord's lair. That's when I noticed a small village hidden among the rocky hills of the wasteland. The villagers there said they'd been attacked by zombies, and some of them had even gotten turned into zombies.
Our iron golem was supposed to protect the village, but it's been broken for a long time.
Don't worry, I have an idea for how to fix it.
You're the best.
On days 32 to 35, I gathered more vibranium from the mines at my base so I could use it to upgrade the village's iron golem. It would be 4 times as strong as an iron golem would be, so the villagers would have nothing to worry about from invading monsters. I was really starting to get creative at using vibranium in my creations, and I soon realized that the material had another special ability I could use to improve my base's defenses. Vibranium could generate force fields, and with a little bit of tinkering, I was able to make a force field dome around the whole base. Let's see those zombie animals try to get inside now. On days 36 to 39, I returned to the wasteland village and used the vibranium to upgrade their iron golem. Now they had their very own vibranium golem.
Hooray! You saved our village!
It sure does feel good to be the good guy. Now I could ask them to help me in my quest. I'm looking for the evil overlord who has been making zombies. Do you know where I can find him?
No one here knows. You should go speak to the shaman of the mountains.
Thanks. On days 40 to 43, I trekked up the snowy mountains and found the lair of the shaman. It was guarded by a friendly snow golem. They didn't bother me, probably because they knew what a hero I was. Inside of a long wooden house was the shaman. They had so many magical potions on their shelves, including ones I had never seen.
So, you must be the one I've been hearing about. I've got an idea for something that might be able to help you in your quest.
I'm all ears.
I'm working on a potion that can turn zombies back into normal animals and people, but I need magic flowers from the jungle in order to complete the recipe.
You can count on me, shaman. On days 44 to 49, I headed deep into the jungle in search of the flowers the shaman needed. Eventually, I saw it, the hill shaped like a skull where the flowers were supposed to be. I fought my way up the hill. Eventually, I got to the top. Phew, that was a tough climb even without a bunch of mutants. No wonder the shaman needed someone to get these for him. And then I saw them. At the very top of the hill, inside the skull, were the flowers. I ran up to the flowers and tried to pick them up, but they were stuck. I couldn't pick them. That's when I realized they weren't stuck to the ground. They were actually part of a giant plant monster. The giant plant monster rose out of the ground, the flower still on top of his head. I don't suppose you'd let me have some of your flowers. But the plant monster didn't want to talk. It wanted to fight. It was a tough enemy. I had to avoid its poisonous plant breath attack and be careful not to get punched by it. It hit super hard, but eventually I took it down and it left one of its flowers as loot. Awesome. Now I can leave this crazy place. On days 50 to 53, I returned to the shaman. I invited them to come stay at my base while they finished the potion. When we got there, I built an area for the shaman to stay and work, complete with a nice big cauldron for magical potions.
Just a bit more fine-tuning, and my anti-zombie potion will be complete. Thanks again for getting those flowers.
You're welcome. You could have mentioned the giant poisonous plant monster, but really, I'm just glad to have helped.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Here, take this as an apology.
The shaman tossed something at me. When I picked it up, I realized it gave me a new recipe. It was an upgrade ability for my suit that allowed me to build in some of the vibranium force field tech. Now when the enemies tried to hit me, I could blast them away. Now that's what I call a powerful ability. On days 54 to 57, the shaman and I went into the grasslands and tested the potion on some of the zombie animals. Wow, it actually works! We started turning animals back, one by one, until we got almost all the animals in the grasslands.
We've got plenty of more where that came from back at the base.
I didn't know what I'd do without the shaman.
Watch out!
Suddenly, the shaman pushed me aside. I was about to ask why when a giant beam of pure evil power shot down from above, and in seconds, the shaman was gone. Oh no, that must have been the Overlord. He must have been aiming for me. I started to run, zigging and zagging as beams shot down from above. I kept running until I saw a cave and jumped in, just before a beam could hit me. On days 58 to 62, I waited in the cave until I didn't hear any more powerful beams outside. But what I did hear was something deeper in the cave. I turned around to see a spider leaping at me. Time to try out my new force field ability. I blasted him. Looks like it works just fine. I practiced with my new force field ability some more, and when I was sure I had the hang of it, I finally defeated the spider. With the spider defeated, I remembered the shaman and how quickly the Overlord's attack had appeared. How was I ever going to defeat him? It didn't matter. I had to figure out a way, since that's what superheroes do. I knew there was still a lot of anti-zombie potion left, so at least the shaman's sacrifice was not in vain. Soon, this land would be safe from zombies. I would make sure of it. On days 63 to 66, I snuck out of the cave and went back to my base, where I gathered up all the anti-zombie potions the shaman had made. Before I left, I wanted to do some work on my statue. I needed something to cheer me up after all that had happened, and I knew a great statue like this would encourage me every time I saw it. So what about now? Can you tell what I'm making yet? I took anti-zombie potions back to the wasteland, and every time I encountered a group of zombies, I used the potions on them to turn them back into villagers. Then I sent them to go live at the village, protected by the vibranium golem. The villagers were happy to see so many people get changed back and sent me a letter to say thank you.
Keep it up. We've got more villagers now than ever before. Our little village keeps growing, just like your number of subscribers. And we hope everyone watching joins your village of subscribers too.
Oh, thanks guys. On days 67 to 70, while exploring the wasteland and saving more villagers from their zombified fate, I finally saw something far off in the distance. It was the evil lair that the panther spirit and the river spirit had told me about. I was sure that the Overlord was in there. I could feel it, but it wasn't going to be easy getting to it since I could see that between me and the base was an enormous chasm. It looks like it went all the way around the base with no clear way to get across. I didn't have much time to think about it though, because suddenly I was attacked by a group of zombie apes. You guys again? Haven't you had enough of being zombies? I went to throw an anti-zombie potion at them when I realized I was all out. Oh no! I didn't want to fight them, but I was surrounded. It didn't look like I'd have much of a choice. With no way to turn them back to normal apes, I had to deal with them the old-fashioned way, with my claws. There were a lot of undead apes, but I was able to put all my skills and abilities to use, dodging their attacks and rushing in to land my own. Finally, the last of them had been taken care of. Phew, sorry about that guys. I promise to make sure I have a full stack of anti-zombie potions next time. I could still see the Overlord's base far off in the distance. It was far enough away that it would probably take me a while to reach it, and then I'd have to deal with that huge chasm. I had a plan for that though, but first, I'd need to return to my base. On day 71 to 74, I built my coolest vibranium invention yet, an aircraft with vibranium-powered levitation devices built into the wings. The only thing scarier than a Black Panther is a flying Black Panther. With my new aircraft, I'd be able to fly right over that giant chasm and drop in right on top of the Overlord. Before taking it out to the wasteland though, I decided I should practice around my own base. Alright, here we go. The first test flight of the Wakanda One aircraft. It worked! The aircraft lifted into the sky. The Overlord would never know what hit him. I practiced flying around, doing circles around my base, gradually getting further and further away as I got more comfortable. Whoa! I was still getting used to the controls though, and almost crashed into a river. Luckily, I was able to pull up at the last moment, and before long, I had the controls down and the aircraft was soaring like a bird. On days 75 to 78, I flew the vibranium aircraft to the Overlord's lair, passing right over the giant chasm. Wow, from up here, it looks like it doesn't even have a bottom. Good thing I didn't try to cross it on foot. Before I left my base, I had made sure to fill the cargo hold with plenty of anti-zombie potions. Time to save this land from tyranny. From high in the air, I could see a group of zombie apes in the lair's courtyard. I decided to drop a bunch of potions down at them from the airship, turning them back into normal gorillas. I kept raining down potions wherever I saw undead, and soon everything was back to normal. There was only one thing left to do. I landed the aircraft on the roof, which I thought should give me direct access to the Overlord's throne room. I stepped inside the throne room and saw that I was right. There was the Overlord waiting for me.
You dare interfere with my plans? I will make you a zombie next, and then everyone and everything you know will become my zombies.
He swung his weapon at me, but my suit's armor was strong enough to keep the damage low. I blasted him back with my force field and then used my vibranium claws to land a couple good hits.
You cannot defeat me. I am the Overlord.
Watch me. Swung my hardest and knocked him down with my claws. Strangely though, he just started laughing. He started to glow and rise into the air.
You fool. All you've accomplished is releasing me from my zombie body, and soon I will be the mightiest being in the world.
Uh-oh, I may have really messed up here. The Overlord, now a super powerful evil spirit, vanished. It looks like I had just released an even greater bad guy. On days 79 to 84, I used my aircraft to return to the river spirit. I wanted to see if I could get any answers on how to defeat the Overlord's new spirit form.
Well, the good news is he can't go back into his body now that he's a spirit.
What's the bad news?
The bad news is only full spirits can fight other spirits, and I'm not strong enough alone. Perhaps I could... No, No, it's impossible.
What? What's your idea?
Well, there is one thing that might work. I'm able to impart some of my river powers on others, but it's far too dangerous. You're not nearly strong enough to survive it.
But if I was able to handle you giving me some of your river powers, could that turn the tide?
Maybe, but you'll need to become much stronger both in body and mind if you want to withstand my powers.
I had to stop the Overlord, and this seemed like the only way, so there was only one thing for me to do: get stronger. It was time to start training. On days 85 to 89, I returned to my base and built some new areas where I could start training my body and mind. For physical strength, I built a dojo near the Panther Spirits tree, complete with dummies that I could practice my attacks on. I had an even better idea for how to make my mind stronger, but to make it a reality first, I had to finish my statue. I completed my statue and stood back to look at it. I thought it looked great and felt mentally stronger just from gazing at the powerful panther emerging from the mountain. But it still needed one more thing. I decided to build a meditation spot right under its mouth, somewhere that I could focus and strengthen my mind. After training both in body and mind, I returned to the River Spirit, but he quickly sent me away, telling me I wasn't nearly strong enough yet. I returned to my base again to train, and this time the Panther Spirit himself appeared in my dojo. He told me that he'd trained with me so I could get better at fighting even quicker. I had an idea for how to improve my meditation training too. I went back to the statue and made it so that the water would pour out of its mouth, creating a waterfall. I then built an area right where the water hit the ground, where I could sit in the rushing water and meditate, learning how to focus even with powerful forces raging all around me. As I sat in the rushing water, thinking about my fighting training, I suddenly felt myself start to change. I grew in size and gained more hearts. Surely now I must be strong enough to handle the River Spirit's power. I returned to the river and met with the spirit again. This time, there was no doubt.
You're ready now. I will give you my powers.
The River Spirit combined with mine, and I felt his power within me. I felt stronger, like my attacks would do more damage since they were infused with water power. And I now had the ability to create water anywhere too. Look out, evil spirit. A hero is on his way to take you down. On days 90 to 94, I returned to my base to get my aircraft when a wasteland villager suddenly appeared. He told me that the evil spirit had sent an army of zombie piglins to invade their village, and they needed help. I hopped into my aircraft and flew to the village as fast as I could. When I got there, I saw that the villager was right. There were zombie piglins everywhere. The village was on fire, and villagers were trying to escape. The vibranium golem was fighting off as many piglins as he could, but there were simply too many for him to handle alone. I fought what seemed like 100 little oinkers, using my new water ability to blast them. Eventually, we beat the last one, but the village had been almost completely destroyed. Villagers who had escaped were badly shaken and afraid. My base was big enough now that I was able to invite all the surviving villagers to stay there permanently. All of the villagers agreed to come, even the vibranium golem. On days 95 to 97, I took the villagers down to my train tunnel and built even more minecarts for them to start going to my base. I flew my aircraft back to the base so I could get it ready for them. I built enough houses for everyone in the same style as their village, and even built farms that looked exactly like their old home. The vibranium golem seemed happy too. He agreed to keep patrolling the new area and defend the villagers if any threats appeared. Just as I was finishing up the last house, I heard the voice of the Panther Spirit calling to me. I went back to his ancient tree once again.
The evil spirit is waiting for you at the end of the river. It knows you teamed up with the river and thinks if it can destroy the river, it can destroy you too.
Don't worry, I've got this. Together, the river and I are invincible.
Go to the river delta, where the river meets the sea, and there you shall find the evil spirit.
But before I left, he told me that there was one more thing he could do to help me. The Panther Spirit leapt towards me and absorbed into my body. I felt myself start to change, and I suddenly grew into a huge, superpowered Black Panther. I had a ton of hearts and felt more powerful than ever. Now, filled with the power of both the river and the Panther, I embarked on what I hoped would be the quest that saved this land for good. On day 98, I was making my way downriver towards the ocean when I saw the shaman appear in front of me in ghostly form.
Hello there.
Shaman, you're a spirit now too.
Yes, before that ray of evil could kill me, I used my magic to become a spirit. I've been watching your progress, and you've been doing an amazing job. I think you could use some help, though.
I'll take any help I can get. What I could really use now is some moral support.
I can definitely give you that, but it would be even more powerful if everyone watching the video did too, by giving a like and subscribing. The more likes and sub you have, the stronger you'll be when you face the evil spirit.
Wow, thanks, Shaman. I hope everyone likes and subscribes so that I'll be really powerful. And if you like the video, make sure to type Zozo, Z-O-Z-O, in the search bar to see my other adventures. There's a whole bunch of them.
I will do that.
Well, I didn't think you had YouTube, but okay, cool. On day 99, I made it to the river delta. A vast ocean stretched out into the horizon before me. Come out, evil spirit, it's me, and I've got the river spirit to help me. I used my spirit powers to walk on the water, and soon I was standing in the middle of this great sea. A dark shadow rose up from below, breaking through the surface of the water. It was the evil spirit.
You're too late. I will soon eat the river and become even stronger. Then I turn
turn anything that drinks from the river into one of my undead servants.
We will never let this happen. I used my water powers to hit the evil spirit, then I ran in and started clawing him.
Oh, that does it.
The evil spirit called down his beam of destruction, the same one he used on the shaman, but I was ready this time. There was no way he could win, not after everything I went through, not after I came this far. As we battled, I suddenly saw other beams of energy. I looked to my sides and saw the panther, the river, and the shaman spirit standing next to me, adding their energy into mine. My combined spirit beam grew bigger and stronger, and in moments, the evil spirit's power had run out and he was blasted by the beam.
Impossible. No!
I rushed in, and with one final blow from my spirit claws, I put an end to his reign of evil for good. On day 100, I returned to the base and built myself a royal chamber suitable for a Wakandan king. The land may have been saved this time, but somebody would need to remain and be its protector. And from now on, that would be me.
On day 1, I spawned into the ancient forest as an elemental enderman. Elemental enderman? Whoa! So I guess that makes me a guardian of nature. Still, I only have 5 hearts. In the blink of an eye, before I even realized what was happening, I suddenly warped a few feet away from myself. Oh wow! I guess elemental endermen have the power to teleport, like other endermen. This just keeps getting cooler and cooler. But I looked around the ancient forest around me and noticed that something was wrong, really wrong. If the ancient forest is the true home of all elemental endermen, how come I'm the only one here? Before I had a chance to ponder this question, a gang of skeleton vanguards turned up, and they didn't look happy.
Dang, looks like we missed one, boys. We better grab this elemental enderman too, or Mr. Boss is gonna kick all our butts.
Wait, who's gonna kick your butt? What does this have to do with me?
Sorry, buddy, but orders are orders. We gotta bring you in.
I didn't feel like I was strong enough to fight the skeleton vanguards yet, so instead, I used my warping power and got out of there. It would have been good news if the place to the ancient forest I'd teleported to didn't already have a creepy whisperer already waiting for me. I just can't win today. I ran away as fast as I could, eventually just laying down under some ancient tree when I got too tired. I need to figure out why those skeleton vanguards were after me. Also, who's this Mr. Boss guy, and what does he have against elemental endermen? On day 2, I woke up under the tree with a sore back from sleeping on the ground. Man, I really need to get myself a bed. I wasn't going to just sit and wait around. I wandered out into the forest to start making my own luck. But first, I'm gonna need some tools. I broke down a tree until I had enough wood and sticks to make a crafting bench and a wooden pickaxe, then mined enough stone to make a stone pickaxe and a stone sword, just in case. That's more like it. As I was wandering through the forest, looking for a big enough plot to build my base on, I saw a secret cabin, with a wind caller watching me from the doorway. I walked over to say hello.
It's surprising to see an elemental enderman out here. I thought Mr. Boss's goons nabbed them all.
I guess I'm the one who got away. But who is this Mr. Boss guy, and why is he making so much trouble for me?
It's not just you, if it makes you feel any better. Mr. Boss is a jerk to everyone because he thinks he's the best. And when he thinks someone has more power than him, he tries to destroy them to make himself feel better.
What an awful thing to do! I better work hard until I can stop him.
You're definitely not going to stop him like that, kid. You look half-starved. Here, take these apples.
The friendly windcaller gave me a bunch of apples to take with me. I thanked him, then mined some extra stone and wood before going on my way. On day 3, I got really lucky. I found some kind of old abandoned structure in the woods where it didn't look like anybody had lived for years. It's a little rundown and creepy, but with a little love and care, this might make a perfect elemental enderman base. So that's exactly what I did. I went through the building, fixing up the broken walls and clearing the cobwebs. It was really coming along. But just as I was starting to make some real progress, I saw a wave whisperer coming right towards my base. I need to take care of this thing before it causes any harm around here. I ran out of the base and drew my stone sword. I warped right over to the wave whisperer and took it on, hacking away until it was nothing but XP. So much XP, in fact, that I leveled up. I not only got bigger and went from 5 to 10 hearts, I gained a new ability, turning invisible for a limited time. Mr. Boss is never gonna see me coming. With the Wave Whisperer taken care of, I spent the rest of the day fixing up the base. It was looking good as new. From day 4 to day 5, I went deeper into the ancient forest, hoping there I'd find some more materials to help improve the size of my base. After all, with Mr. Boss out there, I really needed to be well defended. I hope the ancient forest will forgive me for using its resources for the greater good. But during my gathering mission, I accidentally ran into the same group of skeleton vanguards who had been chasing me since I spawned here.
Well, 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 if it isn't the elemental Enderman whose skinny legs got too big for his boots.
Now I know you skeleton vanguards are the minions of some guy called Mr. Boss. Why do you even work for someone who's so mean?
'Cause we're mean too, duh. Plus, he pays well. So if he doesn't like the look of someone and wants them taken care of, we're happy to do what he says. Get up, boys.
The skeleton vanguard started attacking me, but this time I wasn't just going to sit there and take it. I used my stone sword to fight back, and soon enough, I defeated the whole group. From day 6 to day 8, I found an underground cavern that I'd heard rumors was rich with different materials. It was the perfect place to start my very own mine. I constructed a furnace near the entrance and started mining until I found some veins of iron, exactly what I wanted. I mined the iron and used my furnace to make myself some iron ingots. With those, it was a cinch to make myself an iron sword, pickaxe, and a chest plate. This is really gonna up my mining and fighting game. How exciting! And I needed to test those new qualities quickly because a bunch of mossy skeletons were emerging from the darkness, and it was already too late to try turning invisible. Guess these guys have a bone to pick with me. Using my new iron sword, I defeated each and every one of the mossy skeletons. This upgraded gear had already paid for itself. From day 9 to day 10, I traveled further from my home and went all the way to the Black Forest so I could sustainably get some wooden blocks from there rather than overusing the ancient forest. Despite its sinister name, the Black Forest was a nice and peaceful place for the most part. I didn't have any trouble going through and cutting down a few trees to collect the blocks. Until, on my way back through the forest, I ran into a big, wide golem with purple veins going through him. I just knew this had to be Mr. Boss.
Yo, you're that dweeby little elemental Enderman that's been messing with all my boys. Not cool, just like you. Am I gonna have to teach you some manners, you little tree hugger?
I think it's you that needs the lesson in manners, Mr. Boss. Stay out of these forests. I warped right over to him and attacked him with my iron sword, but it had literally no effect. He just laughed, and I backed away, terrified at how strong he was.
Nice, that almost tickled. Now it's my turn, you little runt.
But if those were the hits he could take, I definitely didn't want to see the ones he could give. I turned invisible and ran away before he could catch me. There's no way I could beat this guy like this. He's just too strong. While I was running away, I turned visible again and ran into a mountaineer who was also in the Black Forest. He looked at me like I was oddly familiar.
Running, huh? From Mr. Boss?
Wait, how did you know?
He's been shaking down everyone around these parts, the big mean bully. Nobody's been strong enough to stop him before, so we all just let him boss us around.
Well, that stops here. I'm sick of his bullying. I'm gonna get strong enough to defeat Mr. Boss once and for all. I led the mountaineer back through the Black Forest. I'd made my first ever ally. From day 11 to day 12, I led the mountaineer back to my base.
I see room for improvement, sure, but it's nice to have a roof over my head. Thank you, Zozo. I'm happy to stay here with you.
Of course, my first course of action was adding a new room to my base, complete with a bed so that the mountaineer could sleep.
Ooh, nice and cozy, just how I like it.
I know what you like, bro. But my encounter with Mr. Boss made me realize just how dangerous he was, and I needed to be as tough as possible to survive an encounter with him. That's why I went back to my underground mining cavern to mine some more iron ore. And while I was exploring the old mine, I found something interesting, a bow and some arrows. It's always useful to have a long-range attack. Yoink! While I was smelting the iron ore, it turned out I found that bow just in time. I was attacked by a dread beast that had been hiding out in the cavern. I didn't want it to get too close to me, so I used my bow to take it out at a distance. It was a real lifesaver. With the extra iron ore I gathered, I made myself some new ingots and some new pieces of iron armor. That made me way more defensible. I also had enough to make the axe and the shovel. I'm fully ironed out now. And speaking of defensible, I went back to my base afterwards and started construction on a perimeter wall. I even put up a little sign, "No Mr. Boss allowed." Yeah, that'll show him. From day 13 to day 15, I went back to the Windcaller's secret cabin in the ancient forest to tell him how I was doing and share everything I'd learned. It turns out Mr. Boss is way stronger than I thought, Windcaller. I thought he was just some average bully. I had no idea he was some super powerful mob boss.
Perhaps I wasn't fully honest with you about what you were going up against, Zozo. Mr. Boss certainly is a nasty customer. He was your average village-defending golem once, but one day he went bad. Sick of working for the villagers, he decided that everyone would work for him. Right now, he's probably in the boss base, a special mansion he constructed to house him and his skeleton vanguards. They're up there, feasting all day, planning what evil deeds they'll commit next. Just for fun, and to feel powerful. And so far, nobody has ever been able to defeat him. But Zozo, that doesn't mean you can't be the first.
No, I'm sorry, Windcaller, but I think he might just be too powerful. If everyone else has failed to defeat him, I don't think I'm gonna be the exception. Before Windcaller could try to encourage me otherwise, I left back to my base, feeling ashamed. From day 16 to day 19, I started off just sitting around my base, moping. I already felt like a failure, and if I couldn't even stand up to Mr. Boss, I didn't even know why I spawned here. But my self-pity was interrupted by the Mountaineer approaching me with a quest, an important, personal one.
Zozo, I need your help. A good friend of mine, Dottie the Dodo Hippogriff, has been missing in the Crag Gardens for days. I need you to go find her.
Of course, Mountaineer, I'll get right on it. I set off on a long journey to the Crag Gardens to find the Mountaineer's friend, Dodie. Lucky for me, but unlucky for her, I almost immediately found her getting attacked by a Dreadlich. Hey, get away from her! This distracted the Dreadlich, giving Dottie a chance to run away. It was just me and the Dreadlich now.
You dare come to my domain and tell me what I can and cannot do, elemental Enderman?
Nobody should bully and attack people anywhere, for any reason.
Foolish and weak. For this, I shall destroy you where you stand.
But it didn't quite turn out that way. Instead, I pulled out my iron sword and fought back. His magic staff allowed him to attack me with his magical plasma, but soon enough, the Dreadlich was defeated, and I'd gained enough XP to level up again. I got bigger, jumped up to 30 hearts, and gained a new power, Elemental Blast. I'll have to test that out on an enemy at some point. With the Dreadlich gone, Dodie came back to thank me for saving her. I'm here because your friend the Mountaineer was really worried about you, Dottie. He sent me back to come look for you.
I'm so sorry that I worried him, but I came out here for a very good reason. I was searching for the Scythe of Justice.
Oh? What's that?
It's a legendary enchanted scythe that apparently lends its users incredible power. It might be exactly what we need to defeat Mr. Boss.
Wait, if a weapon like that exists, I might be able to stop Mr. Boss after all. Come with me, Dottie. I have a new plan. And so, Dottie and I started journeying back to my base. From day 20 to day 22, Dottie and I returned to my base, only to find that it was already under attack from another gang of skeleton vanguards. Wow, these jerks really don't know when to quit. Stand back, Dottie. I ran in and defeated those nasty skeleton vanguards with an energy blast, followed by some well-placed slashes with my iron sword. Not so tough now, are you? I extinguished the fires and took some time to build a new section of the base where Dottie could stay while she was hanging out with me and the Mountaineer.
This looks so cozy, Zozo. Thank you.
Once Dottie was settled in, I spoke to the Mountaineer. He had a plan.
Zozo, let's build a statue. I can tell you've been having some motivation issues lately. Maybe if we could build you a cool statue, it'll help keep you inspired and remind you what's important.
It's a great idea, Mountaineer. Let's split up and search for some materials. I went out into the ancient forest and gathered up some blocks for the construction. But by the time I came back, I was astonished to find that the Mountaineer had already made some great progress. This is coming on amazingly, Mountaineer.
Thanks, Zozo. How about you work on the next bit? My arms could use a rest.
While the Mountaineer rested, I went to work on the statue with the blocks I'd collected. Can you tell what it's gonna be? I wonder if you can guess. Oh, and if you want some more exciting Zozo adventures, hit subscribe and ring the bell to never miss another one. From day 23 to day 26, I started off the week by fighting off another gang of nasty mobs, some whisperers. They were descending right onto my base. Why don't you guys respect my personal space? I worked hard on this base. I pulled out my bow and took out each of the whisperers one by one. Then I warped out to check and see if they had dropped anything. Turns out they dropped a few shark tooth arrows. Those would be useful later. I should go search for somewhere to test out these new arrows. That's why I decided to take a trip to the Cypress Swampland, where I'd never been before. And they certainly knew how to roll out the welcome wagon, because it didn't take long for me to be attacked by some dread scuttlers. Good thing I have those arrows, because I wouldn't even want to get near those things. Thanks to a few well-placed shark-tooth arrows, the dread scuttlers were soon defeated. I kept exploring until eventually I ran into a pink pixie.
Hi there, I'm Greta, the pink pixie. I don't want to be a bother, but I was wondering if I could ask for a favor.
Hi Greta, I'm Zozo, and of course, what's the favor?
This big meanie called Mr. Boss chased me out of my home, and now I don't have anywhere to live. Could I come stay with you for a while? My friends tell me that I have great interior design skills.
Of course you can come stay with me, Greta. Let's go! We both went back to my base, where I built Greta a nice little room, perfect for a dainty pink pixie. The only thing I didn't expect was for her to have already built something for me.
Take a look, Zozo. I built you a relaxation room. It's perfect for chilling out after a long, hard day of trying to defeat evil in the overworld.
This is awesome, Greta, thank you! Let's take some time to relax in there now! From day 27 to day 31, I decided to speak to Greta, the pink pixie, in the relaxation room and ask her where I might be able to find the Scythe of Justice.
Oh wow, the Scythe of Justice! I've heard so many legends. People have told me that the Scythe is strongly in tune with the forces of nature, so it's possible that it could be in the forest. Try the deciduous forest first. That place is pretty darn magical.
Taking Greta's advice, I immediately journeyed out to the deciduous forest. It was a very magical place, and I felt my elemental Enderman soul feeling strongly connected to the nature all around me. Until the Illusioner showed up.
Yes, it is I, Zozo, the Illusioner. Mr. Boss sent me to ensure that you never get your hands on the Scythe of Justice. The glory shall be mine, mine, mine!
Even if I say please?
I'm evil, Zozo. Please means nothing to me. Now hold still, so I can destroy you!
The Illusioner fired an energy blast at me. I took the hit, but thankfully I was able to tank it. I pulled out my sword and attacked the Illusioner until he was begging for mercy.
Okay, you've won this time, Zozo, but I'll get you next time. Mark my words, I'll get you next time!
And with that, the Illusioner teleported away, and I was free to continue my journey after the Scythe of Justice. From day 32 to day 35, while I was searching through the deciduous forest, I found more pixies, orange ones this time. Hey, orange pixies! I'm in search of the Scythe of Justice, so I can put a stop to Mr. Boss's reign of terror. Any idea where I can find it?
Oh, the Scythe of Justice? I know a few things about it, but I'm sorry to tell you, you won't be able to find it here. Mr. Boss and his goons have been all over this forest. If they haven't found it, you won't find it here either.
Darn it! How about you guys head back to my base? We can talk more about it there. I'm gonna check just a little further, just in case. The orange pixies left to find their way back to my base while I continued searching. This was a decision I'd come to regret, as soon enough, Mr. Boss jumped out of the shadows again and hit me so hard I lost almost half my hearts.
Told you it was my turn. You think you can get away from me, you elemental dork? This is my world, and here what I say goes.
Not if I find the Scythe of Justice, then you're toast.
Big if for a little man. Time to take your lumps.
There's one problem, Mr. Boss. You can't fight me if you can't see me. I turned invisible right in front of Mr. Boss's face, then ran for the hills. I still wasn't strong enough to fight him just yet. From day 36 to day 39, I returned back to my base, feeling relieved that I'd managed to once again get away from Mr. Boss with my life. I don't want any more close calls like that. I need to be more careful. When I got settled back in, I decided to speak to the Orange Pixies about their knowledge of the Scythe of Justice. Please, tell me everything you know, Orange Pixies. Even the tiniest details might be useful.
According to our legends, the Scythe of Justice once resided in the forest, but it doesn't anymore. It was used by a great hero once in the past, and we believe this great hero may have left it among the dunes. You may have more luck finding it there.
The dunes, that's perfect! I'll go there soon. Thank you, Orange Pixies.
Don't mention it. Oh, one other thing. We couldn't help but notice you're making a statue. While we were waiting for you to come back, we decided to add a little to it. Mind taking a look, just to make sure we did it right?
I I went to take a look and was so happy to find that the orange pixies had done an amazing job. It was even better than I could have imagined. You've done a fantastic job, guys. Thank you so much for your help. From day 40 to day 43, I was working on some improvements around my base when I saw a traveling scribe approaching the base. He came up and I decided to talk to him. Hey, Mr. Scribe, what brings you here?
I heard you're trying to take down Mr. Boss. He hasn't exactly been kind to me in the past, so I'm gonna give you some advice. Head to the Crag Gardens and go west. You'll find some diamonds that will help you on your quest.
That sounded like a good tip to me, so I went back to the Crag Gardens and went on a search west for the diamonds. But on the way, I ran into a dangerous Myrmex queen, an insect-like monster who is definitely not friendly. Ugh, and I'm afraid of bugs at the best of times. This is the worst. Thankfully, she wasn't as strong as she looked, and I managed to take her down without too much trouble. Phew, I feel a lot safer now. It dropped Myrmex meat. Not sure that it's going to be tasty, but I am running out of apples, so I'm taking it. I continued my search west until, just as the scribe said, I found a bunch of diamonds scattered across the ground. Exactly what I needed. I traveled back to the base with the diamonds and crafted myself an awesome diamond sword. I can't wait to show this to Mr. Boss. He won't want to mess with me now. The Myrmex meat actually tasted better when cooked than I expected, although I think Gordon Ramsay would disagree. From day 44 to day 49, I headed out to the dunes. I hope I can find the Scythe of Justice out here. Now, if I was the Scythe of Justice, where would I be? As I was exploring and looking around the dunes for any sign of the Scythe, I spotted a Vindicator chef being attacked by a Gorgon. He was doing his best to fend off her attacks, but he was definitely in danger. Hey, you leave him alone! I grabbed my diamond sword and rushed in to help the Vindicator chef. With my help, we were able to defeat the Gorgon together. Phew, I'm glad I came along.
So am I. That was a real kitchen nightmare. I thought my goose was cooked. Is there anything I can do to thank you? I make a mean lasagna.
Thank you. Actually, there is something. Have you heard anything about a Scythe of Justice?
As a matter of fact, I met an iceologer when I was on a real experimental ice cream kick. Did you know mustard ice cream isn't very good? Anyway, he mentioned something about the Scythe. Maybe he can point you in the right direction. He lives at the top of that dune over there.
Thanks! From day 50 to day 53, I followed the directions given to me by the Vindicator chef. Hello, is there an iceologer around here somewhere?
No iceologer here, only your certain doom.
The Illusioner appeared in front of me, firing an energy blast right at me. Oh no, not you again!
Yes, Zozo, it is I. You have eluded me for too long, and now it is time to taste defeat.
No thanks, I'm not hungry. He attacked me again, but I was ready for him, and this time I was able to defeat him for good. I felt great. Now, where was I? I looked around and spotted a little house on top of the dune. Hello, the chef sent me. I'm Zozo. I'm looking for the Scythe of Justice. The iceologer came out of the house to greet me.
Hi, Zozo. Nice to meet you. I'm afraid I have some bad news, though. Mr. Boss's goons came through here and took the scythe away earlier today.
Oh no!
But here, let me give you something. I hope it helps.
He handed me a splash potion of healing. I was feeling pretty discouraged about the scythe, but with the Illusioner finally defeated, I knew I was making progress. I couldn't lose hope yet. From day 54 to day 57, I traveled back to my base. The Mountaineer was waiting for me.
Welcome back, Zozo. Hey, while you were gone, I decided to fix up the place a little bit. Take a look around. Let me know what you think.
I walked around and checked things out. He added some guard towers. These will be great for protecting the base. Thanks so much for your help.
Glad you like them.
Just then, Dottie the Dodo Hippogriff came running up to me.
Zozo, thank goodness you're back. I need your help. I left my multi-tool on the forest vault. Can you help me get it back? I'd go myself, but I don't have any fighting experience if the bad guys show up.
Sure, I'll go look for it now. I headed over to the forest vault and searched for the multi-tool. Hey, there it is. I grabbed it for Dottie and brought it back to my base without running into any trouble. Here you go.
Thank you, Zozo. Here, while you were gone, I found this for you. It's a flaming bow. Maybe you can use it.
From day 58 to day 62, one of the orange pixies came and woke me up.
Good morning, Zozo. Sorry to wake you, but I'm just too excited. Please, come and see the work we've done on the statue. It looks so good.
I went to check out the statue, and it was true. It looked awesome. This is so cool. Thank you for your hard work on it. But I didn't get to admire the statue for long. A group of skeleton vanguards ambushed me, and the orange pixie attacking us.
Well, well, well. Looks like Loser here got himself a loser statue.
It's an awesome statue. You're just mean. I did my best to fight them off, but I couldn't stop them from destroying the orange pixie. No, how could you?
It's fun to be bad. Duh.
I couldn't let them get away with that. I summoned the strength to keep fighting, and I defeated all of them except for one, who managed to get away and run off into the woods. I won't let them or Mr. Boss get away with this. From day 63 to day 66, I chased the runaway skeleton vanguard all the way to the dunes. The dunes? What's he doing all the way out here? As I looked around, I spotted an empty chest. Hey, I wonder if the scythe used to be in here. Then, of course, the vanguard popped up behind me.
Don't bother looking for the Scythe of Justice. It's long, long gone, hidden in a place where you'll never be able to find it. It's in the forest vault, but you'll never get it back. Ever. Oh, you're gonna cry about it?
There's nothing wrong with crying when you're sad, but no, not right now. First, I'm gonna fight you. I drew my sword and attacked the skeleton vanguard. This time, I was ready, and he couldn't surprise me. I was able to hit him with the flame bow and avenge the orange pixie. From day 67 to day 70, I traveled to the forest vault again, but this time it looked different. Mr. Boss and his goons had definitely been here, and there was a squall golem standing at the entrance to the area.
Tiny, pathetic, showing up in places he shouldn't. You must be Zozo.
I'm not any of those things. Well, I am Zozo, but none of the other ones.
Run on home before I have to teach you a painful lesson.
Not without the Scythe of Justice! He just laughed at me, then rushed forward and attacked. I tried my best to fight back, but he was much stronger than me, and I was worried I wouldn't make it out of this one alive. He knocked me back. Uh-oh, I'm in over my head here. But I didn't have another choice. I had to keep doing my best. I climbed back to my feet and hoped my trusty diamond sword would be enough to save me. I dodged the squall golem's next attack and got the better of him.
Ow! That hurt, you little brat.
Before I could finish the fight, he ran off and disappeared from sight. No time to go after him. I have to get the scythe. From day 71 to day 74, I entered the forest vault to look for the Scythe of Justice. But there was nothing there. All I could find was a note.
Oops, guess you were too late. No scythe for Zozo. I took it for myself. Too bad, so sad. Signed, Mr. Boss.
Oh no, he already took it. I'll have to keep looking and find another way to defeat Mr. Boss. From day 75 to day 78, I returned to my base to try and figure out my next step. When I got there, the mountaineer was waiting for me.
Hey, Zozo, you look kinda sad. What's wrong?
Mr. Boss took the scythe before I could get it. I'm so disappointed.
Maybe seeing some of these improvements I made to the base will make you feel better. Come check it out.
He had added banners and shelves while I was gone. Wow, these really tie the room together. Nice job.
Oh, also, I went out exploring and I found this.
Whoa, netherite ore! I can use this to upgrade my sword. I took the netherite ore and used it to craft a netherite sword. This is great! Thank you so much!
Oh, what a nice moment. Too bad I have to destroy you now.
The squall golem! He was back! But this time, I had a new, stronger sword to fight him with. When he attacked me, I dodged and came back at him with the netherite sword. Before too long, I had defeated the squall golem. I felt myself getting stronger, and my hearts increased to 60. I feel like I got a new skill. I concentrated and found out that I had a lightning strike ability now. After that, I spotted something on the ground. He must have dropped this. Hey, a map to the Black Forest. Guess I know where I'm headed next. From day 79 to day 84, I followed the map and traveled to the Black Forest. There's an X on this map. That usually means something important. Let's see, where's the X? Halt! Who goes there? A royal guard was blocking my path. I'm Zozo.
Are you a goon of Mr. Boss?
Heck no, I'm trying to defeat that guy.
Fortuitous. I require help from a noble hero. I have misplaced a very important chest that holds something dear to my heart. Would you aid me in my search? In return, I can provide information about Mr. Boss.
Sure, I'll look for it. I searched all over the Black Forest and finally found the chest. I opened it and found a gold sword inside. I brought it back to the guard.
My lucky sword! Thank you! My mother gave this to me. I would be so upset if I lost it for good. Mr. Boss's base is located on the edge of the ancient forest.
That's near my base. Way too close for comfort. I'll have to make sure I'm really ready when it's time to face him. Hey, do you want to come back to my base with me?
I must attend to my royal duties, but thank you for your kind offer.
On my way back to my base, I stopped by the secret cabin to visit the Windcaller. Hey, I was wondering if you knew anything about Mr. Boss that might be helpful. I just found out he lives in the forest, not too far from my base, so I need to get ready fast.
As a matter of fact, yes, you should know that Mr. Boss is very vain, famously so. He can't stand it if someone makes fun of his amethyst crystal growing out of his back. If you insult his crystal, he will become distracted and upset. This will allow you to catch him off guard and maybe the difference between victory and defeat.
Insulting his crystal? Good to know. Thanks for your help. From day 90 to day 94, I knew I needed to get to work upgrading my armor if I was going to be ready to take on Mr. Boss. So I headed down into the underground cavern and started mining. I mined harder than I'd ever mined before. My hard work paid off because I found some diamonds. Perfect! Rushed back to my base with the diamonds and used them to craft a full set of diamond armor. I'd like to see Mr. Boss try and beat me with this gear. From day 95 to day 97, the Mountaineer came to talk to me.
Zozo, I have great news. We're almost finished with the statue. There's only one piece left that needs to be put in place, and we wanted you to be the one to do it.
Really? Me?
Yeah, it's your base, it's your statue. It would mean a lot for you to be the one to finish it.
I followed him to the statue, and it really looked amazing. He handed me the last piece, and I placed it on the statue. Then I stepped back and looked up at it. Wow! The sight of that giant elemental Enderman towering above me reminded me what I was fighting for. My species, the elements, and the world. It was a world worth fighting for, and I was going to try my very best. On day 98, I walked around my base, trying to get ready for my face-off with Mr. Boss.
Zozo, I was looking for you. I wanted to talk to you about this Mr. Boss fight. I just wanted to say that you're gonna do great, and if you need any help, I can join you in the fight.
Thank you, but I think I need to face him alone.
I understand.
Dottie the Dodo Hippogriff came to see me next.
Zozo, I know you're nervous, but you can do this. The good guy always wins, even when it seems like an impossible fight.
Thanks, we'll see how it turns out. And if you want to see more Zozo adventures, hit subscribe and ring the bell to make sure you don't miss them. I went to see the pixies, both pink and orange.
Zozo, thank you for everything you've done so far. It's been an honor to help you. It really has. Go show that mean Mr. Boss that nice guys don't have to finish last, and that being mean never pays in the long run.
You all believing in me so much really makes me feel like I can do it. On day 99, I traveled to Mr. Boss's base. It wasn't a very long walk. It had been nearby the whole time. I headed inside, ready for the fight of my life. Immediately, I was attacked by skeleton vanguards.
Hey, you weren't invited to this party. Get lost. Scram!
They attacked me, but with my new armor and my new sword, I was able to defeat them. After I finished with the skeletons, I saw a cage filled with elemental Endermen. There you all are. I knew it. I'm not all alone. I have you guys. I let them out of the cage and showed them which way to run to escape. I'll see you all again soon. I have to finish this first. On day 100, I continued fighting my way through Mr. Boss's base. Out of nowhere, a squall golem appeared to attack me.
I've had just about enough of you.
He rushed at me with a melee attack, but my armor protected me from his damage. Ha! I was ready for you this time. I fought hard, rushing at him before he could attack again, and before I knew it, I had won. He dropped something when he went down, and I grabbed it. I can't believe it. It's the Scythe of Justice, just in time for me to need it the most. I did a quick little celebratory dance, then continued my way through the base. Finally, I reached Mr. Boss's room.
I see you made it through my guards. I'm surprised. I thought you'd give up sooner for sure. Well, since you're here, I guess we'll get right to it.
He concentrated hard and started to transform. He grew into a bigger, stronger version of himself. Uh-oh. But I couldn't get discouraged now. I grabbed the Scythe of Justice and stood tall. Literally, I felt my bravery making me grow taller as I got bigger and stronger too. My hearts increased to 90, and I realized I had gained a new ability too. I was ready for the ultimate showdown. It was a tough fight. I was stronger, but so was Mr. Boss. As he knocked me back into the wall, I remembered what I had learned. Hey, what is that growing out of your back? It looks like a zit. Wait, it's supposed to be a crystal. Yikes.
What did you say about my amethyst crystal? How dare you? That is one of my finest possessions.
While he was distracted, I used my new ability, Sun God Blast. I unleashed the power of the sun, and Mr. Boss was defeated once and for all. With no more bad guys left to defeat, I traveled back home to my base, where my friends and family were all waiting for me. The pixies were dancing, Dottie and the mountaineer were eating pie, and all of the elemental endermen were waiting to tell me all about the elements. Yeah, things are gonna be good from now on.